Yo, look at that. We went live quick. All right. People watching this in the future, real quick. I'm so used to looking over there. It's a different setup. Um, I'll be giving grades as we go along here. The grades are kind of stringent. It's really based on the grade that I have and where they're picked in the draft. The pluses and the minuses will give you a good idea of if I like the pick, like if I like the player, if I like the fit for the team, something like that. But otherwise, it will be kind of on a specific scale. So I'll hopefully I'll have time to make a video with grades. So check that out for each team. That probably won't be put together as much as I've done in previous years. I'll just go through, I think, the entire draft in one video. But if you want to look for your team, obviously just start scanning ahead. It's going to be at least about a half hour probably before that first pick is in of the draft, maybe even 35 to 40 minutes. It would be a good starting spot to skip ahead. So, welcome on in. Looks like the festivities on stage are starting. I thought while we were waiting, I'd put up a couple of drafts that I put up this morning. Every time I do a draft, I would do it a little bit differently. But I did do two similar drafts that have one of them David Bailey going at number 2, one of them Arvell Reese going at number 2. So let me pull up. Looks like I have the David Bailey up one first, and I clicked on the wrong one. Let's see. There we go. All right. So, went with Fernando Mendoza, of course, number 1 overall. You can see on the screen, I've already got that grade put in, so we'll see if I have to retract that and do something else. But Fernando Mendoza going to Vegas. Then I've said for months now, David Bailey or Reese there at number 2. I don't know which one they're going to pick. For a while, I was just going with David Bailey. Then it just seemed like, oh, they're going with Arvell Reese. That one's kind of locked in. So I had recently moved over to doing Arvell Reese there, but went with David Bailey there. Now, what I will say here for pick 3 is, first of all, it seems like Arizona very much has been trying to move out. I do wonder if the news about the Francis Mauigoa injury might change their willingness to move out of there, as well as if Arvell Reese is available there. I think, that could help to tilt the scale depending on how they feel about him. In the case of them staying there at pick 3, I forgot. Let me check my volume. Make sure that it seems like it's a pretty good level here. I did check it ahead of time. It seemed pretty good, but we're also going to have the TV on in the background throughout. Ads. There shouldn't be ads throughout the live. Hopefully not. All right. Okay, yeah, volume seems pretty good. Didn't even have to go all the way up to get that. All right, so I had Kansas City moving up if Arvell Reese is there at 3. I did hear a report that they actually like David Bailey more. I don't know. Maybe they like them both a lot. You would think that they would like Arvell Reese or a Ruben Bain, but maybe they are going to try to add some legit, just like a speed rusher. I think that's what they need, just not historically what they've gone for. But I had Kansas City moving up for Arvell Reese there at pick 3. Now, what I did for the trade value there was essentially offered them, I think, closer to value of moving up to like 5 or something, which is a bit of a difference. And Arizona is saying, yeah, we're still okay with that. Lesser value. I just don't think. I think Arizona is going to have to move back if they really want to for less than what they ended up moving back for with like the Houston trade a few years ago in that draft. With the 4th overall pick, I did this in both of these versions, having the Rams move up. So this would really help to shape the next pick with the New York Giants, because if the Rams were to move up for Carnell Tate, then the Giants move up, take Tyson here instead of maybe waiting for a receiver at 10. And the whole idea of the Rams moving up for maybe Tyson, whoever it would be, a wide receiver that high. And this is another case where for them, I had them giving a bit of a lesser deal to Tennessee to move up because at the end of the day, they weren't necessarily desperate. But the idea here is that if the New York Giants are going to take Tyson with 10 or 5, whichever one, that's still in front of our pick at 13. We expect Carnell Tate to go in the top 10. There is a chance that Makai Lemon will be going. So if they aren't in love with Omar Cooper as much as they are in love with two of these three names, whatever one of these three names, that they can get up here and get their number one name off the board if they are truly going to be going for a wide receiver in this draft. And I think that that's what they'll probably go for. Also depends how the board falls, of course, if they stick there at 13. But this is trying to get ahead of everything. So I had them moving up for Carnell Tate. With one wide receiver already off of the board, and the plan being to get a couple of wide receivers, and Jordan Tyson being the one that we want for the New York Giants, reportedly, then I went with Jordan Tyson at 5. Then at pick 6, Cleveland Browns. I mean, Tyson already gone 2. Not that we couldn't go O-line, but this is another team that even reportedly might want to move back. So made a move with Dallas. Now this trade was a little bit different because Dallas ended up, Dallas and Cleveland in this version. Dallas gave up pick 20 to Cleveland. And in a different version, hold up. Now I got notes on this. What did I end up doing here? So I had Dallas picked 12, 20. Yeah, so this was a weird version of this because there is a better, cleaner trade to be had. But I did 12, 20, a first rounder, future first, which is very valuable, for 6, 24. So I had Dallas move back to 24. Is this the right version? Would that make sense? Or Dallas 12, 20. Cleveland gets 20. But I only see... Yeah, so there was a couple of trades, right? Well, I think this is the right one. David Bailey going first. Dallas trading 12, 20, a future first for 6, 24, and a future third. Of course, Cleveland picked at 12. So then the other version... was Dallas 12 and 20 for Cleveland 6 and 39. I'm just looking, where is Cleveland? So that's the trade on this one, was 12, 20 for 6 and 29. And the other version is the weird trade there, but had Sonny Styles going to Dallas there at pick 6. Then at pick 7, of course, well, not of course, but I went with Jeremiah Love there just because it seems like he's going to go in the top 10. So with this being one of my final versions, we'll get him out of there in the top 10. Followed by Mansour Delane going to New Orleans. This was also heavily based on information gathered from Peter Schrager, in his most recent information dump. So that was helping to make some of these decisions. And finally, this works out for Arizona. Go with Francis Mauigoa, Caleb Downs to the New York Giants. Ruben Bain going to Miami. That's a tough one. They could go in so many different routes, especially if the board looks like that. But, of course, Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs being gone helps to weed out those two obvious choices that I think Miami would love to get. Then we got Spencer Fano going to Cleveland at 12, so that move back works out very nicely for them. Reportedly, they're in on Spencer Fano. Of course, reportedly, they're in on a bunch of offensive linemen. Vega Ioane going to Tennessee after their huge trade back, so going guard there. Interesting. Then Keldrick Falk to Baltimore, Makai Lemon to Cleveland. So Cleveland used pick 20 there to move up. So yeah, I had Cleveland move up there to pick 20 with Tampa Bay to get Makai Lemon ahead of the New York Jets. New York Jets said, okay, well, we're willing to trade out of here then. Of course, Omar Cooper Jr. also actually just might be the pick there. I kind of wonder if I flubbed that. But Monroe Freeling for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving up for that ahead of the Detroit Lions, who go with Maxie Honiger. My sneaky, I think that's who they're going to like the most, but we'll see. That's one of those picks that I've been going out of the norm on. Then Dylan Thieneman to Minnesota, Omar Cooper Jr. to Carolina. Even with moving back, Tampa Bay still gets Kenyon Sadiq. Then Casey Concepcion going to the Jets after they moved back. Still getting a wide receiver there. Caden Proctor is been one of those sneaky picks that I think the Chargers might like a lot. I think a lot of times people go edge rusher when Vega Ioane's gone there, or sometimes you might reach for one of the other guards like Pregnon. But I think that they might view Proctor as a guard and as one that they would like, and we know that they don't mind taller, bigger guards because they just used one last year. Blake Miller going to Philadelphia, Denzel Boston going to Cleveland, so Mekhi Lemon and Boston, two wide receivers there, two totally different wide receivers to make over that room would be interesting. We'll see. Well, we probably won't see because they probably don't end up having 3 first-rounders, but we'll see. Then the Chicago Bears go with Akeem Mesidor, Cassius Howell to Buffalo. I've done these picks. Caleb Lomu to San Francisco. I don't think I've done that, but it would make a lot of sense. Caden McDonald to Houston. We'll see if Caden McDonald goes in the first round. We'll see if any interior defensive linemen going in the first round. They very well might not. That'll be interesting to see. A lot of interesting storylines for this one. Arizona moving up for Ty Simpson. This is one of those ones, I guess I'm betting on it, but I don't know for sure. Well, they didn't have to move up. Actually, this is one of those scenarios where because they're able to get that pick 29 from Kansas City, if they were to do that trade, it works out really nicely that they can take Ty Simpson here. We still have our next pick in the early portion of the second round as well. So I think in this type of situation, it'd be pretty likely that they would get Ty Simpson with either this pick or the next one. Jermon McCoy is another guy we'll see. Might fall out of the first round. So I ended up going Jermon McCoy to the Dolphins. Maybe Chris Johnson could be a name there too that they might like quite a bit. Zion Young to New England. That's just, there's Keldrick Falk, I think, is still available here. They could like Keldrick Falk. They could like TJ Parker, two names that are supposed to go higher than Zion Young. It's just one of those names where I'm linking him to New England, thinking that they would really like him specifically. But we'll see. And then EMW, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, just barely making it in here to Miami, moving up with Seattle there to pick 32, if they would like to. So yeah, that was that draft. Let's move on to the Arvell Reese first draft. All right. So you can see we start out the same, of course, but then Arvell Reese, which means Kansas City not so willing to move up. I had the Rams offering, I think, just the same trade that they did in the other one to Tennessee, to Arizona. Arizona took it, and the Rams get Carnell Tate there at 3. So I still stuck with the same idea for the Rams, but Kansas City was more willing to just sit back in this scenario. Then David Bailey at pick 4 to Tennessee instead of... Did I do Love? No, I didn't do Love. They had him trade out. Then Jordan Tyson once again at 5. Stuck with that because once again Carnell Tate was already off of the board. The Cleveland Dallas Cowboys went Sonny Styles. Interesting too. Dallas Cowboys today got the contract done with George Pickens. Will they use him as trade bait in this draft? That's possible. So, stuck with the same thing there. Mekhi Lemon to Washington. Reportedly, they really like him quite a bit. Mansour Delane to New Orleans. Reuben Bain Jr. to Kansas City. Caleb Downs again. So, Jeremiah Love had fallen in this version. So, I had Minnesota move up with Miami for that in that one. They've got a lot of draft capital to move up if they wanted to. I think Carolina's another team that might be looking at moving up if Jeremiah Love falls. I think those are the two closest and most likely ones that would be doing that. But Minnesota's got a lot to work with. So Minnesota comes up there. Spencer Fano's still available here in this version to the Cleveland Browns. Francis Mauigoa going to Arizona all the way at 13 then. Once again, it's going to be interesting with do those back injuries issues of his end up pushing his stock down. We'll see. Vega Ioane going to Baltimore. I think that's like the most likely situation for them. Tampa Bay picked Kenyon Sadiq in this version instead of moving back. Didn't get an offer to move back. Jermon McCoy going to the Jets at 16. So this was done a little bit earlier in the week before all of the smoke really started to rise around Jamad McCoy, maybe falling out of the first round completely. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. Still went with E. Honitor to the Detroit Lions. Dylan Thieneman going to Miami here, then at pick 18 after trading. So I thought that worked really nicely for Miami, moving back there with Minnesota. So, you know, if for some reason Love were to fall and Minnesota wants to come up for them, Miami works out. I think there's a chance that Miami would actually like Thieneman even more than Downs, just because of the system that Jeff Hafley wants to run there. Omar Cooper Jr. going to Carolina again. Casey Concepcion going to Cleveland again, but a little bit higher in this version. Monroe and I prefer Denzel Boston, honestly, for them, but I feel like Casey Concepcion is going to go higher than Boston, so it's just kind of one of those things. Monroe Freeling, still get him right without even trading at pick 21 because we were surprised to see Detroit go with Ehoniger. Caden Proctor once again to there. Blake Miller once again. Miami in this version had them move up to pick 24 to grab Akeem Mesidor before Chicago Bears, and then had Chicago Bears go with Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, where it does seem like the NFL is maybe closer to my ranking. I mean, if we look from my ranking, it's down there for EMW, 47. I am one of the lowest. Not the lowest on him, but I'm very close to being one of the lowest out there on Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, and it's nothing against him. I like a lot about him, but other guys I just like more. And it's very close. Once you get to, for me, I mean, truly, yeah, I mean, it's about around pick 25 through around pick 50, which is what one of the previous Green Bay Packers execs out there said. It's very much, you could jumble them up in whatever order, and I'm not going to argue with it. In this version, I did have Arizona move up for Ty Simpson. It'll be interesting if they actually feel like they have to. I'm going to have to stay on top of my TV. It keeps going off of live and loading and falling behind time. Denzel Boston to San Francisco. Just one of those, kind of a gut one, but they've looked at Denzel Boston. It's more than just my gut on that one. Caden McDonald, same pick there. Colton Hood to Kansas City. You see that a lot. He really fits what they've found success with at wide receiver, or at cornerback, but could see them, going multiple routes ultimately there, even with cornerback. They could like Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson, a guy who I really, really like. Had Dallas getting Chris Johnson. So that was a trade back with Miami there. So Dallas moved up at picks to this pick and moved a future first instead of pick 20 in this draft. To Dallas and they moved back to 24, and then they got a future third back there, and the pick swaps in the first round. So had Miami move up with Dallas there. So that was Dallas moving back, and then Zion Young yet again, and I wanted to get Keldrick Falk in here, kind of, but also I've heard another person say the same thing about where I see the fit for Keldrick Falk with Houston and why I think it would be a good fit. And I've heard another person that I respect, I don't remember who in the industry, mention this fit. And so end up having Houston move up for him. So there we go. We are very close to the start of the draft. I'll get the TV on here in a moment, so we'll just be listening in. Let's actually get the TV up to live again because I saw it. Going to be really annoying. I don't know why it won't just stay live, but it buffers, and we lose our spot. It's like every commercial, I'm just going to have to fast forward. It really won't matter for you watching in the future, but anybody watching live, yeah, I'm going to be behind your TV for multiple reasons. But we'll get the picks in on screen on time. I'll keep my eyes on that one probably. We'll see. how good of a job I do of staying live. And it's buffering already. So let's see how well that can be heard. Buffering. Just doesn't want to go live. Probably doesn't help that I'm doing the stream either.
Terrible towels being waved. It starts right now.
Yeah, you can hear that pretty well. You know what? We don't want music on here, I don't think. So we'll just mute that portion. All right. It's freaking draft night, baby. I'm just going to have to live in the past, it looks like. And this is not a good sign. We got the cat already being obnoxious. Do you want to go outside? Maybe the cat wants to go out. That would be helpful. You want to go hang out with your brethren? Come on. Yeah. Watch out. Yeah. Go out there. Is that what you want? Go. Alright, I'm here, I swear. Anybody's popping in here. Alright, I think we live. And it buffers. Just meant to hit play. Good God. No, I don't want you on pause. Try this one more time. Go live. Is that Ruben Bain we were showing first? I got plenty of water and whatnot. There's Arvel. Yeah, it's going to buffer several times to start out.
As we welcome you to coverage of the 2026 NFL Draft on NFL Network, presented by Verizon Business. Honored to be here hosting an NFL Network.
Don't want to run my cat's tail off.
The third time I am Rick Eisen. That is Joel Platt of Fox Sports. That is Charles Davis. That is Daniel Jeremiah. And this is the commissioner of the National...
National what?
Ball League coming to the stage with a terrible towel waving TJ Watt and Cam Hayward.
It'll even out soon. Never get TiVo? Fission? TV? Not a big fan. Here we are. Always eggs them on. It's the way to do it, though. It's the way to do it. Oh, he looks sweaty. Pittsburgh's being too kind to him.
We are proud to be here in a city built on grit, built on steel, and home of the one of most dominant franchises in history.
It'll stop. It's normally not like this.
Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers.
Holy.
But tonight we're going to celebrate Western Pennsylvania heritage. And as you can see, I didn't come alone.
Oh my gosh.
Eight-time Pro Bowler and Defensive Player of the Year, T.J. Watt. And the heart and soul of the Steelers, a captain.
Ridiculous.
The 2023 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, Cam Hayward.
I just can't.
Take it away, Cam.
Hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. But why?
Pittsburgh! Make some noise!
Why?
Steelers football. Tough,
Oh,
physical, and built to last.
I can't. I
But
can't.
everything we do today is built on the standards set by the legends before us. Let's bring out the men who paved the way to greatness. A Hall of Famer, a true shutdown corner, a piece of the steel curtain, Mel Blount!
I thought we were past this. I mean, it's like
Now,
a 320 IP on my screen. It's just
let's
terrible.
talk some playmakers, some Super Bowl MVPs, Liz Swan and Hines Ward.
I wonder if I just pause it for a little longer. Just live in the past. Oh.
And now, we gotta talk quarterbacks. Two quarterbacks, two eras, one standard, Super Bowl champions, and legends of the city. Ben Roethlisberger.
All right, now we're in like 1080 IP territory. Yeah, it just started getting foggy as I started saying that.
And one more,
Terry.
Bradshaw.
I'm looking to see on the clock on this thing.
This is Steelers football. Go Steelers!
How is it being so bad?
Okay, these players forge the path.
I even reset everything earlier today. You know what? I didn't reset everything.
Of stars, we will welcome into the National Football League.
I reset the local stuff.
starting tonight.
I didn't reset the main router.
Pittsburgh, this is a moment you all been waiting for.
Huh,
Yin's ready.
terrible.
The 2026 NFL Draft officially open. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock.
There we go. So I'm behind. I don't know why it doesn't say it on here. Do I need to refresh this?
An 8-minute
Yes.
allotment of time for each team. First time in NFL draft history. Once upon a time, 15 down to
I'm just going to pause for a little bit. I think I'm just going to have to live in the past on there. I don't feel like I have much of a choice.
8. And the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock, and that is their draft room in Henderson, Nevada. Daniel Jeremiah, we're expecting to hear Fernando Mendoza's name. I give you the
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're doing too much decision making in there.
See if you're finally smart. He's going from
Fernando getting claps.
on the way to silver and black. He's in blue tonight.
Are we going to have to wait 8 minutes?
As he's getting ready to be the first overall pick, as we expect will happen. You know, when you watch this guy,
So once he's off, then I'll eliminate him from my top 10.
say football players
are tough, but then you see some guys, and it just looks different. The abuse that he took, the punishment
I should check and make sure that I'm heard over the TV.
Right back. That to me showed his mental and physical toughness.
Yeah,
and the clutch
I am.
gene, the stuff you see late in key moments of games. That's why I use the Matt Ryan comp. Matty Ice, he earned that nickname. Now back in the pocket, feet in the ground. He can get this ball up and out down the field. Plenty of.
You know what? Maybe having that on wasn't helping.
In wet weather in Eugene,
Although that's going off my cellular network.
barely about 6
Because I turned my Wi-Fi off on here before.
placing the ball. Look at these tight windows.
Raiders are on the clock. Officially.
Levels, and then this is that toughness I
According to a notification.
Stand in there, take your medicine, deliver the ball. He does it. And this kind of capped off his career and brought a national championship.
You are absolutely not allowed to eat on the Mendoza family couch. From Aaron Schatz.
And you called a ton of his games, Big Noon on Fox, I believe, 4 this year. You mentioned in our pre.
By the way, I feel like I pretty much have to yell because that TV is loud. So it can be picked up here a little bit. Just moved it down a notch.
That's what I saw time and time again from Fernando Mendoza, is that when he needed to be great, he was at his greatest. Late in the game against
So the big question will be coming up. Reese, which reportedly they do plan on using Reese as a linebacker initially and kind of working him in on the edge as time goes along. Or do you just take the edge in David Bailey? It's a tough decision. I got him back to back on the old board here. So, in terms of, I don't do too much quarterback scouting. It's just not an area of strength for me. But in terms of the scouting on Fernando Mendoza, we can kind of cover that one now.
for a lot of years to come, and hopefully for Vegas to a Super Bowl.
It looks like somebody's
Where's
on
my
the phone
mute?
having a good time with
All right. So,
this is how
6'5", 225 pounds, real good size for a quarterback. The things that I like to look at: accuracy, elite accuracy in his final season. Great big time throw rate. Big time throw rate is an indicator towards success at the next level. It's not my, I prefer accuracy over big time throw rate, for instance, but of course accuracy also, the number on its own doesn't tell you everything about the quarterback. But big time throw rate of 6.6%, which is, once again, that's great. Bad pressure to sack conversion rate, you don't like that. 18.2% pressure to sack conversion rate, so it does struggle under pressure. You're going to want to keep a good offensive line in front of him. It's kind of like C.J. Stroud, like Jared Goff even. Keep them protected, and you're going to definitely get the best version out of them just because they are guys who tend to struggle a little bit when pressured. Below average time to throw, that's one that I really like. Quicker throwers, of course, once again, that has something a little bit to do with the style of offense, especially in college, to college level. But 2.7 seconds, just a little bit less. You'd like to see that get into the 2.6 range, really, but 2.5 something, 2.4s, really nice. And then average turnover-worthy play rate, so that's, that's fine, 2.5% there on the turnover-worthy play rate, so that's nice. But yeah, really built well. And he's a guy who's got the mentality. He's going to be going to work. Like, he's got everything that you want from a quarterback in that sense. Everybody always says, Kirk Cousins. He's got that Kirk Cousins kind of mindset. Kirk Cousins, a guy who's almost certainly overproduced in his career given his overall skill set and quarterbacking. It looks like it's in and it's official. Do I risk it and try to go live? Whatever. Let's do it. Let's get back up to date here for a moment. So yeah, it was announced, which means that the Jets are on the clock. So that's going to bring us to the edge rushers, the linebackers. I'll wait to do the feedback till afterwards, but Fernando Mendoza, grade-wise, going to give that an A. We'll get him off the top 10 list. I got a first round grade on him. These are correlating to rounds, so that's the highest grade that I give is a pure first round grade. I don't do any kind of like top 10, but that essentially means like a top 16, top half of the first round for sure. And then guys like Fernando Mendoza, I mean, obviously he's a quarterback and he deserves to go number 1 overall. In a really good quarterback class, maybe he doesn't go number 1 overall. In last year's quarterback class, he very well might have. I think there would have been a conversation, just basically Fernando Mendoza being the safer pick, Cam Ward being the higher upside pick. I think would have been the conversation between the two of them. So, who knows who would have gone first for sure? I think a lot of people say Fernando Mendoza. I think he, because of the interview process and everything, might have won that out.
Great game of the NFL. Look forward to proving and earning it.
This is Fernando Mendoza. The Jets pick pretty quick.
What a great organization, great legacy. There's so many great teammates I'm looking forward to talking to, coaches, owners. I'm ecstatic for the opportunity.
Congratulations.
So I guess let's move on over.
Congratulations to the Mendoza.
I'm going to go to the edge rushers. Who is it? Bailey Reese. Very interesting to see here.
Kirk Cousins is their starting quarterback to begin this season. Clint Kubiak believes that is the
Okay, so it says the pick is in here, but clock's still going. So they'll be coming on stage shortly, I'm sure.
Pretty much. We knew Fernando Mendoza would be taken first overall. The rest is a complete mystery.
So the Cardinals are on the clock.
The general manager has handed the
Jets
phone over to
have
Aaron
made the
Glenn to talk to
decision.
the player that they are about
They're
to
on the
take.
phone with them. They've sent it in to the office.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Well, I've been saying David Bailey. Much was made about his visit getting canceled to the Jets. We're going to find out if that visit was important or not here pretty quick, CD.
I would think that they already knew all they need to know about David Bailey. Use that top 30 on someone else. But all of us trying to glean, insight into a top 30 visit that's canceled, that's kind of folly. Yeah, and listen, if you want someone to come in and play right away.
Yeah, so my theory on the top 30 visit initially, and I still think that this might be true, we'll see, was that maybe the owner came in and shut it down and just said, we're taking Arvell Reese, guys. No sense in making that visit. I don't know. It would be something that Woody Johnson would do.
And there could be a trade in the offing. We don't know, because as soon as the Jets make the pick, Arizona and the rest of the league is alerted as to who has been taken. So,
And then we'll see if the Cardinals actually do end up trading out here.
of the night to be settled.
Yeah, it's ironic they're making a pick and they're hoping that this pick.
Are we going to commercial before the pick is going to be announced?
Entire season without an interception. They need some more pass rush. That's not just a coverage issue. And that's
Got the aerial camera up like they're going to go to commercial.
They're 31st.
So there is a direct correlation. When the front doesn't pressure enough, the back is under siege.
Yeah, so the Jets choosing second overall.
It's David Bailey.
30 visit being
I got it right the first time around, months ago. Let's go, baby. So that's going to be an A. I'm not going to give it an A plus here. I think he's a good edge rusher, maybe not necessarily great. So let's get David Bailey, my 7th ranked player, off of here, and let's go over my write-up on him. So that helps, I think, the Cardinals if they want to trade out of this. Let's see if I got this right. Kansas City moving up here? Or somebody else? We'll find out. Here, I'll let you listen to it.
With the second pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select David Bailey, linebacker, Texas Tech.
So they do take David Bailey out of
Safer pick. Don't blame them for it. They got a coaching staff that's fighting for their job. So an elite pass rusher via PFF, win rate 21.9%. Very good. Great run defender. Now, this is what I liked about him in run defense. He graded out great. He does a nice job of keeping his eye in the backfield. He diagnoses the run well. He works through traffic and disengages from blocks nicely. He does a nice job in pursuit from the backside of the play. You'll notice a lot of that has to do with everything except for running directly at him. He's 251 pounds, probably played a little bit lighter than that. So he's on the smaller side, but not necessarily too small to be like a 3-down guy. I do have some question marks about his ability to stay on the field for 3 downs and not be more of a designated pass rusher. By the way, Jason, what's up? How you doing today? Getting me hyped for NFL fantasy? Hell yeah, brother. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping on through, man. I appreciate that. Sorry if I made you wait to say hi. But yeah, 6'3.5", 251. Very large hands, long arms, so you like to see that from a pass rusher. He had a 4.5 40. That's a great number. Devastating closing speed when he wins off the line. Do not think that he has a consistently elite first step. I see weaknesses in his average 1.62 split. So he's got extremely quick feet. And I think I talk about it in my write-up on him, so I'll go into a little bit more detail about some of that, his get-off and everything. But good burst profiles, that's talking about like the jumping drills. Has a tool bag of pass rush moves that he utilizes well, solid bend, elite foot speed, high motor. Weaknesses, struggled quite a lot against Utah. 2 first-round tackles there, though. Well, maybe first-rounders, but close to. Lacks necessary play strength / physicality. Too often gets pushed off of his angle against good competition. Can't turn speed to strength. Brings questions to what was a great year as a run defender in terms of his transition to the next level. And 2025 was his only well-graded year in the run. All right. Fails to recognize screenplays and misdirection too often. Didn't love that about his coverage abilities and field awareness. Lacks feel for receivers in the flat when he's in open space, whereas some other guys will feel that and then go and make the play from behind. Lacks inside counter moves. I think some of his success comes from attempts to time the snap. When he gets it right, it's devastating. He did have 7 penalties last season, but his reaction to the snap is inconsistent. 1.62 yard split on the 40 shows average acceleration, though his foot speed is insane. Played for 4 years, 3 years at Stanford, then transferred to Texas Tech for his final year, took 1,765 total snaps. His last 2 seasons were elite, both of them. So my write-up for him, Bailey is a very, very good speed rusher and brings elite foot speed. On that note, however, I do think that he I do not think that he consistently has an elite first step. His get-off is a little inconsistent in the fact that he gambles at guessing the snap, and I don't think his reaction timing is elite off of the snap. So I think he was taking a lot of guessing, and that can get you in trouble if you start to not be able to guess it correctly. Regardless, he has the foot speed to quickly make up any ground and shoots into the backfield at a high rate. Another concern is when he doesn't win quickly, he does struggle to counter. He lacks a full counter repertoire, but he does play with a high motor and continues to work through the whistle. So hopefully a little bit of added strength, college, NFL, physical programming, going to weight room there will help to get him a little bit stronger in some of those regards. He struggles when the run comes right at him. He doesn't have the ability to set the edge. However, his game in that department did take a step forward in 2025. Is that in part because he was a 22-year-old senior now? So sometimes guys tend to, just be a little bit stronger than their competition once they get older. His ability to play on all 3 downs without being a liability in the run game is a question mark for me. I also find his field awareness to be a weakness. He doesn't have a good feel for receivers. Talked about that. Chop Robinson was the first comp that came to mind for him, but Chop was about 1.5 years younger. So, I don't think that he's an elite edge rusher, but definitely very good. All right, Arizona's on the clock. Did we trade it? Did we take a pick? I don't know when it would alert us to that being traded. I don't think until it gets announced. With Arvell Reese still being there... Arvell Reese, Francis Maui Noah, I feel like would be most most likely, but Jeremiah Love, we'll see. We'll see about that. What do you think, Jason, if you're still hanging out there? Where do you think they go? So, yeah, I mean, I think that's a good overall, though, for the Jets. Like, I get the pick. They did go Jeremiah Love. Gosh darn it, I didn't believe it. I thought it was all smoke. Oh, my gosh. Well, they got a really good running back. They got a lot of running backs now. I would assume they'll be trading, what's his name? Their third-year running back, maybe, for something. Wow. I did not believe it. That's an A for me, minus. I think they should have done something else. Yeah, I'm going to give that an A minus. I really think that they should have done something else with that pick, but it's a really, really good player. My number 4th ranked player overall. Let's get to my write-up on that one. I want to hear them.
The Arizona Cardinals select Jeremiah Love. Running back, Notre Dame.
Sounded a little mixed there, but more good than bad from the Arizona Cardinals fans. All right, for Jeremiah Love, elite yards per route run, elite yards after contact per attempt, good elusiveness, very long arms, very good speed, threatens as a receiver all across the field, can eat up turf once he's in the open field, can both get the dirty yards and break the big play, which you love to see that. Good vision, decisive, you love to see that. He leaves his feet quite a bit. He jumps and he hops a lot. You know, when that's one of the weaknesses that I'm writing down, and I only have 2 written down, that's not too bad. Inconsistent as a pass blocker. That's pretty common coming out of college for running backs. 3-year player, 2-year starter at Notre Dame. Honestly, I think I used to just have a 1-sentence write-up on him. Love is an all-around stud. It's that simple. Surefire first-round type of guy. Top 15 type of talent given his position. I had Jahmyr Gibbs as my 1B prospect, along with Bijan Robinson as my 1A prospect in the 2023 draft class. And I think that I'd have had Gibbs higher than I do Love. Would Love have been a 1C is the question for me. I'm not 100% sure, but he's certainly very close. Yeah, you know, there's a reason he's going a running back here in the top 5 and didn't make it past pick 3. Darn. I never took Jeremiah Love to Arizona. I didn't believe the smoke that was recently there either. So I'm out of the running for making any mock drafts that were completely correct. Not that we were going to get one, but wow. You know, and I think the news, what Peter Schrager was saying was basically Arizona did want to move out, but if they couldn't get what they wanted, they were going to take Love, I think was the most recent report on that. So I assume that that's the case. They just weren't able to get what they wanted to move out, and they weren't willing to take some sort of discount. So they stuck it. I wonder if there were any offers coming in. I mean, maybe nobody wanted to come up. So the Titans pick is in. We're behind. Because not only does this, I start from behind with this darn TV and system here. This local area, I'm just behind the live feeds that most people get around the world. But yeah, great player. Think we could have done something else. So, Titans. Man, now I'm thinking the word about Sonny Styles might have been correct. Let's see. But I would say Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese has got to be the pick for the Titans unless they end up moving out of here.
Over the years, how special is this night and this moment for the two of you?
It's very special. You know, my dad was the first person that believed in me, and
Man, he done sacrificed a lot to get me to this point, so I gotta pay him back, gotta pay my family back, and I'm looking forward to get to work in Arizona, you feel me?
I feel you. You are the first running back to be taken in the top
I feel
100
you.
since 2018.
All right,
What translate to the NFL?
Who do I think is going to be?
I mean, it's
I
just a blessing, you know? I feel very honored to represent the running backs, and
I mean, I would go with,
for 'em. I'm putting on for
I think I would go with Sonny Styles. So I'll bet on what I would do. No,
I'm putting on for the Cardinals. We're gonna do some special
that's
things
tough.
together.
Congratulations, Jeremiah.
So, by the way, what you're seeing on the screen,
Again, the Giants are a minute already in the
when you're looking over here at these coloring, this is the physical grade that I have on them. So arm length, whatever matters for the position. And this is their athletic grade, whichever athletic testing numbers matter for the position. When it's grayed out, that means that it was a plus. I just don't keep a scale of how good it was. But the light green would mean it was kind of a minor concern for their physical traits. And the light purple is they did go Carnell Tate. There we go. Did that a lot earlier on in the offseason. Wow. Awesome. I think that's a good pick for them. I like helping out the quarterback. I have said that many a times. We'll get that up here.
I thought if Love got there, then that was going to be a real interesting conversation of Love versus whichever of these Ohio State defenders was there. Now they've got both Ohio State defenders there.
I'm gonna give that an A plus. You know, I guess I'd kind of ignored wide receiver here. I think you want to help out the quarterback. Like, that makes sense to do. So I'm gonna give that a plus on that one. I like the idea of helping out the quarterback.
on the clock right now, 5 and change. That's the first of their 2 picks in the top 10. But for the moment, the Tennessee Titans have center stage right now. The commissioner is coming out with their pick. Again, 8 minutes per team. So the commissioner's getting his steps in. I think his ring is probably already full, right?
All right, you don't need to hear it. Let's just make sure we don't fall behind. So, Carnell Tate, 6'2", 192 pounds, elite yards per route run, elite hands, only had 3 drops over the past 2 seasons, great ball tracking, extremely large hands, and a big wingspan. He high points the ball really well. I think that he's a quarterback-friendly receiver, which is always something that I'm looking for. I think he does a nice job of waiting to flash his hands until late-ish. Maybe not the best at waiting late, but does consciously kind of wait to flash his hands, which gives defenders less time to react to get their hand in there to block the ball. Deep threat, he creates separation, but is also great at contested catches, beats both zone and man coverage effectively. He's tough, he's a willing blocker and willing to go over the middle. Effortless speed. Does he lack top end speed? I wrote, and yeah, I mean, it ended up, sounds like he does lack that top end speed based on his 40 time. Great run tempo. I like guys who tempo their routes. Don't just run at one speed the whole way through. That's how you win. In terms of the weaknesses, his athletics, I wrote debatable, but he did have extremely bad acceleration and bad speed in terms of his testing numbers compared to wide receivers that I've been keeping track of at the Combine over the last 5 seasons. He's a little slender, and he can get knocked off his route by longer, stronger cornerbacks. So put on a little bit of weight at the next level. I think he can do that, and hopefully he can kind of, you know, get rid of that portion weakness, and less effective than he is willing as a blocker. 3-year player, 2-year starter at Ohio State, took a big step forward from 2024 to 2025, so freshman to sophomore year. 21 years old. Tate is an NFL-size, pro-ready perimeter wide receiver who can win deep using both his ability to create separation and his contested catch ability to make plays. When he gets his hands on the ball, it's a catch. I love how he sets up his quarterback for success, and his ability to track the ball in the air is ultra impressive. Hopefully he can put on some weight as he gets older without losing any athleticism, as his lack of bulk is down near his only weakness. Added bulk will also help him become a better blocker, which he is willing to do, and help to keep him healthy. He is easy to like as a prospect. I don't want to call him elite, but he had an elite season in 2025. High-end first-round draft pick. Yeah. I think that was a good pick. My 12th ranked prospect, and, you know, once again, once we got to kind of I mean, it doesn't matter. Top 10 for Cardinal Tate's fine for me, especially given the circumstances there for Tennessee helping out their quarterback. Giants pick is in. Who is it? Sonny Styles? Caleb Downs? Jordan Tyson? Mansour Lane, I'd give him several times in the past. Doesn't feel like that's going to be the pick. Arvell Reese, still available here at pick 5. Somebody going to want to move up for Arvell here? Everybody kind of comfortable feeling the board out?
Their pick or faster, but the biggest surprise so far, Carnell Tate is a Titan with Laura.
Carnell, what do you want your new quarterback Cam?
I don't really think that's should be that huge of a surprise, especially with Jeremiah Love gone there.
Whenever you need me, I'm there for him. I'm always open.
You had a really incredible moment where you wanted.
I mean, that's why I had the Rams trading up to 3, right, for Carnell Tate.
How you had her name inscribed on the inside of your jacket, and as you're showing us, how did she help you achieve your dreams that you wanted to achieve, but there were also her dreams?
All right, I don't want to leave this on too long.
Everything. She's my rock. She's my rock. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. She sacrificed everything for me. Forever.
All right, and during that interview, the Giants made their pick, and the Chiefs traded up to 6. The Browns have swapped spots with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs moved up to 6 for Reese then, I'm going to guess. So the Giants didn't take Reese. Sonny Styles. Chiefs up to 6. Definitely had the Chiefs moving up a lot.
And we're here at Patty's Diner.
Yeah, commercials. So did get the Chiefs moving up correct. I don't remember if I've had them move up to 6 specifically before. I know I've had them move up to 7. Probably up to 6 in a mock draft. Probably. Because that way you get ahead of the Commanders if you're going for the edge, right? So, yeah, probably did do this in a version. Let's see. I don't have all my mock drafts saved, but I do have several. Oh, yeah, my final... Nope, that was to Kansas City. I mean, that was... What about my 3.0? Nope. 2-round draft. There's the first round for that one. Nope. My 6th mock draft. Nope. I don't know. Because I wasn't... We'll keep looking. They're on commercials right now. Ooh, Caden Proctor at 9. Wow. Don't remember that one. And now we're in Jeremiah Love territory to them, so no. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I've done that. There's a few mocks that I don't have saved in my files. All right. Well, there we go. It was not defensive heavy for those first 4 picks. End up getting 3 offense off the board there. Look at that. Giants. I gotta think it's Sonny. It's a definite A+ if it is. Great fit. I mean, Harbaugh's definitely had his fair share of great linebackers. Did we give a... Yeah, we gave a grade there. A+ to Tennessee. I'm gonna get Sonny Styles up and ready here for my write-up on him. But I don't know. Well, Arvell Reese is, I think, on this one too, at least. My linebackers. Oh, he's got a lot of strengths there. It is Arvell Reese. He's a linebacker too. I wonder how they're going to plan on using him. Let's see how they announce him.
In the top 10 is about to be announced. The 5th overall pick in the draft. As soon as that pick came in, that's when the Chiefs turned
They gotta. It's got to be as a linebacker, right? They've got enough edge rushers.
in this year's draft to do it. The Commanders are on the clock with 6 and change left, and the commissioner has the Giants pick with some.
It's just going to be an A for me. I would have given Sonny Styles an A+.
In partnership with the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivor, TAPS, one of the NFL Salute to Service partners, we are honored to recognize the surviving family of United States Army Major Paul C. Volke.
So the Chiefs pick is in already. I mean, the short on it is that Reese is just extremely strong. I thought he's a better linebacker, but I do understand the edge hype.
He is survived by his spouse, Tracy.
Great to elite versus the run, elite tackler. Great tackling form from Reese. I think seems like a really good guy in terms of
The New York Giants, a tradition he proudly
his off the fieldness,
sons.
his personality. Super cut, all muscle. Good listener, patient talker, certainly felt comfortable with the media, was quite introspective about himself, his strengths and his weaknesses. He grew on me.
NFL draft. The New York Football Giants select Arvell Reese, linebacker from the
Linebacker.
University.
Yeah. Reese's ceiling truly is Micah Parsons' level, but he needs to develop in one or both areas, being coverage as a linebacker or his pass rush toolkit as an edge rusher, which, yeah. A lot to work on as an edge rusher, and he'll go there. He's going to be a linebacker, I'm sure, and they can have some fun with him and move him around. Right now, he relies very heavily on his athletics, his speed to power to win. That said, his power is out of this world. He pushes men 1.5 times his size back with ease. He sets the edge like a man, 1.5 times his size. Truly extraordinary displays of power. I have concerns about his overall agility. His best work comes when working in a straight line. Reese is a highly instinctual player who also displays a high level of IQ for the game at his position. There is no doubt that Reese is a top 10 draft prospect, and I can't argue with anyone who put him into blue chip territory. However, there are a few too many question marks in his profile for myself to put him into that territory. Lacks bend when he's coming off the edge, limited experience off the edge. So my only negatives had to do with him being an edge rusher. I think he can be a quarterback spy. He takes excellent angles in pursuit, power enforcer over the middle of the field in the run game. He diagnoses really well as a linebacker. His stack and shed is great from linebacker position. Great acceleration, elite speed in terms of some of his testing there. He's got good size, quarterback spy ability. I wrote that twice. I wrote quarterback spy ability twice for him. Yeah, great elite tackler. Great. 6'4", 241 pounds. So as an edge rusher, a little bit undersized. As a linebacker, fine.
You create something for Arvell Reese and allow that athleticism to really take hold.
I like him.
I think he's a guy that's in a Micah Parsons type of mold. This is a really, really good football player that is very raw, Rich.
Let's get to the highlights. I can show you what he looked like.
I'm sure glad that New York didn't take Jeremiah Love.
1 year as a starter, but he packed a lot into that 1 year. You see him
I think I would have been.
on the ball, the versatility.
I probably would have been a little more upset with New York taking Love than Arizona.
Big time explosive burst to get there. You see that again, the pursuit, able to win off the edge, and then that closing 2 steps, he can really get going. And this is the difference between him and Bailey. He's got a little more knockback power. You see it as a bull rusher, you also see it as a point of attack in the run game, and then you want to bluff a little bit here. We're not dropping in coverage. We're going to add on to this rush and get Arch Manning on the ground. There is a ton of ability with him. He is
So,
just
Chiefs.
guys.
Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs. Oh, by the way, Arvell Reese, my 6th-ranked player off the board there.
Oh, there's no question about it. He's a giant now, and he's going to want to play like a giant.
Mansour
And Joel, I
Delane.
think you
You're
really
trying to
hit
move
on
ahead of the
it.
Commanders.
It'd be interesting how they dole out the
Sonny Styles would make a lot of sense. So would Caleb Downs,
before
though.
he gets on to the next thing.
Time for Welcome to Primetime, presented by Nation.
We'll see. We'll see. I love how this top 5's shaping up, though. This is fun.
What does the Giants share with you about how they plan to utilize you in their defense?
You know, the Giants told me they're going to give you Niku. They said they're going to use it in a bunch
most unique ways, so I'm looking forward to that.
To get with unique with the most unique ways.
What can you say about those that have helped you all the way back to your days at Glenville High School in Ohio?
Yeah, I can't say nothing but thank you. You know, it's a bunch of childhood coaches I done had. You know, my high school coaches, my parents, my family.
It was Mansour Delane. There we go. Chiefs fans. Y'all got to calm down. So many Chiefs fans getting pissed off about people like me, other people out there in the industry, taking Mansour Delane to him at 9. There's no chance in hell that they would do that. And they just moved up to get him. My number 5 prospect, I'm not going to argue with this. I think he's a great player. I think he's a real nice fit for their system. No doubt about that. I love him. It's an A+ because I love him. Yeah. Let's get it. Great pick. Let's get my write-up on him. So Mansour Delane, 6 foot, 187 pounds, elite in coverage this last season, good technique, sticky, physical, 0 flags at LSU while still playing physically. That's what you love about it. Man specialist, but scheme versatile. Does a nice job of getting his hands on the ball, doesn't get bodied easily by wide receivers. He works through traffic at the line of scrimmage really well to get some of those types of plays. Effortlessly fluid, natural movement. My weaknesses for him, very short arms, small wingspan. You do see him trailing, not exactly being burned, though, on deep routes against burners. But he doesn't get burned, and his 40 time was good, so I think that shows up. A lot of people said they didn't think it showed up because he would be trailing, but he'd be trailing, but it'd be fine. He'd be fine. Aggressive play style can be taken advantage of by quarterbacks. Just a little bit more IQ to be built there, but still, I don't think that's necessarily a weakness of his. But he's aggressive, so just gotta stay on top of that. Only 1 year of elite play his true senior season. He was average against the run, willing to get involved. Not a bad tackler though. Kamari Lassiter, I think, is my comp for him. And Delane has even better size than Kamari Lassiter had. Really high floor, excellent technique type of guy. Personality, great posture, well-spoken, looks very muscular. Delane is a borderline elite cornerback with a high floor who will work on the perimeter. He does a nice job of seeing the field and understanding what the offense is doing. Between his game IQ, his physical play style, and his high-end technical skills, he has the ability to shut down, disrupt, and create impact plays. He looks natural on the field. His play is effortless. He should be able to contribute in the NFL from day one. Big fan. Look at that man wearing pink. Atta boy. He ain't afraid. I think that's a good pick. Needed help at the cornerback position. You got it. All right, we don't need to move this up yet, right?
He's going to see it.
A lot of the same notes I have. Scheme, sticky, scheme versatile, they said.
Incredibly smart DB to replace him.
Yeah, he clues really well. Dominic sees it from wherever he is.
All right, the Commander's pick is in.
Do all those things any tackle.
And Rich, you got to imagine Kansas City doesn't think they're
Sonny,
gonna take the top
Caleb,
so they went after him.
Jamal,
He went and dropped the guy that he wanted.
Ruben Bain.
3 to 5, and here's Laura Rutledge.
I'm sorry, you just
Where are we
said,
going?
wow, this is crazy.
Jordan Tyson?
The Chiefs traded up to get you. What did they tell you about why you were so important to them?
Let's go, baby.
Really just the way I play the game, this confidence they have in me, they weren't really on me too much in this process, but they said they just wanted to keep it quiet and make that sneak move, and they made the best move in the draft, so I'm excited.
You were once
I wonder what they gave up for that.
This very night where you would become an NFL player. What would that little boy say now?
Man, don't stop now. Don't stop now. You got what you dreamed of, but, man, let's make a mark on this league.
Congratulations.
Let's see if I don't have that value here.
It is one of those nights.
A third and a fifth rounder.
Taken. And again, the Commanders used almost all 8 of their minutes. I was watching that clock in that as the Saints just made their pick. And that pick is in as well. We're about to get the Commanders pick. One would think, wouldn't you think they would cartwheel Sonny Styles' card to the podium?
I think it's a heck of a value. At this point in time, he's my 3rd overall player to be there for the Commanders at pick 7. He's got a team that's pretty good too, Caleb Downs.
Sonny Styles it is to Washington. I got spoiled for the Saints, so I already know that one. Yeah, Sonny Styles, my number 2 overall prospect. I think it's a good pick. Can't argue with that. So let's get that filled in here. Washington. My number 2 overall prospect here at pick 7 fills a need. Can't go wrong.
The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, is awarded to one player each year and celebrates their profound impact on and off the field. I'm joined on stage by former winners.
So I got Sonny Styles, 6'5", 244 pounds, elite in coverage, elite tackler. Stack and shed is a plus. Above average hand size, very long arms, and a massive wingspan. So you expect that tackling ability to continue at the next level. Good versus run, good to great speed. Extremely powerful base, plus agility. Can green dot for a middle linebacker, true interior Mike linebacker. Can take on any assignment. He can be a quarterback spot. He can cover the tight end or the running back, including straight up the seam. He can cover the slot. He has safety experience, was a safety originally in the college football ranks. Disciplined player, works well through traffic to find the ball. Effort in pursuit can be a concern, but I kind of got over that with him. I think he is just playing ultra conservatively, and that might have been a him thing, that might have been a coach thing, I'm not sure. Position IQ is a work in progress still. His play diagnosis not quite all the way there yet. Play action can catch him off guard. His eye discipline on the backfield's a little bit iffy. Pad level is inconsistent. That's true of a lot of guys. Tackle power does not pop. So you will very rarely, maybe it's in my write-up here, so let's just, Styles is certainly a high-end linebacker prospect who will give defensive coordinators a weapon to use. Styles can take on basically any assignment, and he will be able to green dot, though he still has some development to go in terms of his pre-play diagnosis. His inability to deliver any true pop as a tackler is a concern. He gets in position to and makes the play as a tackler at a high level. Once he has his hands on the player, he does not let go. However, he struggles to prevent players from going forward once he's latched on to the tackle, and at a high rate, his teammates end up helping to finish the play by gang tackling. Styles is 100% a first-round prospect, and a rather high one at that, but there are some areas of development and concern. His high character erases some of those concerns. So I kind of got rid of one of those concerns. Still, though, as a tackler, he needs to deliver a little pop. Like, if you are sitting there on the 1 yard line, even though he might tackle the guy, they're probably going to push forward for that yard. So that's really the big bugaboo with him. Everything else, especially considering he's still kind of newer to the position, is just really, really good overall. The Saints, I already know where they're going. I won't spoil it until we're there. You can probably guess. Between Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, Jordan Tyson. If I narrow it down there, can you guess who? Where are we at? The Browns are on the clock. We got the Sonny Styles grade. I'll wait a little bit.
Was a heck of a linebacker himself, a 3-time All-American at Ohio State. And at Ohio State, when you're an All-American, they plant a tree in your honor. Sonny Styles told James Laurinaitis that was one of his major goals, was to get that tree. And once they knew he was an All-American, James Laurinaitis said, let me be the one to tell him, because we get to share that honor together.
And CD recently has become a forest.
Now, there's no sorts on, or just when holidays come up, we're going to Columbus to get a drink.
So the Saints pick has been in for about 7 minutes. The Browns have about 3 minutes left on the clock. It's time to welcome the punt.
That math doesn't work out.
Sonny, we saw your smile when you looked at that Commanders jersey and you put on the hat. What should Commanders fans know about what they're getting in you?
Oh man, I love the game. I love the guys. I love the brotherhood. I'm excited to be part of the organization. Coach Quinn, Mr. Peters, the whole staff. I love everyone there.
About 9 o'clock, gotta take my medication.
He said we'll see.
Oh, Tesla, baby.
So I'm super happy.
You have now been drafted. Your brother Lorenzo Jr. will be drafted this weekend. What do you remember about being little boys and imagining this night?
Man, Zoe's, he's my best friend, my inspiration. Just chasing around. We dreamed about this since we were 5 years old. So to see it all happen, we're living out the dream. But it's just the beginning. Just the beginning.
Enjoy this.
Yes, man. Thank you.
One of the best combine performances we've ever seen on NFL Network, Sonny Styles. So we're 2 picks behind. The Saints and the Browns picks.
All right, so Saints pick's about to get announced in a little bit, so we'll just get ahead of it. It is going to be wide receiver, because I know out in the real world it's probably been announced by now. Oh, there's a commercial. It is Jordan Tyson. Injury concerns are real. I have a first-round grade on Tyson. That is an A. We'll leave it there. I don't know if it's an A+. Wait, is the Saints... Well, you know what? I wanted to help out the quarterback. And you did. So we'll give that a plus. There's my updated top 10. Caleb Downs, Spencer Fano, Jermod McCoy, Ruben Bain, Francis Maui-Noah, Dylan Thieneman, Vega Iwane, Makai Lemon, Blake Miller, and Akeem Mesidor. For Jordan Tyson, 6'2", 203 pounds. You can see a little better size than Carnell Tate. Elite hands in 2025, did have some drop issues in 2024. Above average yards per route run, good size, good after the catch, explosive, ball skills including tracking. He can really get up for the catch. Versatile alignment. He can play on the slot. He can play on the perimeter for you. Very versatile. Smooth route runner. Uses his size and arms to create space for the catch. Showed some run blocking chops back in 2024. Not so much in 2025. But that might have been in part due to some of the injuries. Weakness, very short arms. Lacks some tempo and patience with his routes while in the open grass, which was something I mentioned I really like. Good tempo in the routes, sometimes forcing a tougher throw in yak situation when he could sit down in a zone. So, yeah, I think he needs to be a little bit more patient with his route running and be a little bit more purposeful with his route running to set himself and the quarterback up for just better situations to get more big splash plays, especially after the catch. You know, when you're running towards the sideline and you're just going all out in the speed, like now the window for the quarterback to throw to is shortening. Your ability to maintain your balance and turn upfield is getting smaller and smaller and less able to do that as you just head full speed towards the sideline when you don't have to. 4-year player with some pretty regular injury history. He tore almost every ligament in his knee back in 2022. In 2024, he had a collarbone injury, and in 2025, he had some hamstring issues. Those are the issues that I said might have caused him to be a little bit less of a blocker in 2025. If Tyson can stay healthy, he certainly has the tools to be a wide receiver 1 in the league. He's shown toughness and has some bulk to back that up. On a similar note, he spent 2 years learning from Hides Ward, and that showed especially in 2024, where he's doing a better job with his blocking. He is certainly versatile, and he can align anywhere on the field, as well as having the ability to threaten all 3 levels of the field. Didn't do a whole lot of deep ball stuff, but when he did do it, it was good at it. And with a vast route tree at his disposal, he still has a little bit of polish yet to go. I don't think he's a must-get top 10 type of pick in any old draft, but in this year's draft, he certainly could go that high, and once again, he could very well pay off whatever his draft price ends up being. So there are some concerns for Jordan Tyson. It's a good pick. I think that's in that wide receiver room too. Very nice addition. I think I would have rather Carnell Tate in some ways, but absolutely a fine addition there. All right, that's enough. Yeah, right. Get off the stage with that stuff. We don't need no music on here. Copyright music. All right.
With the 8th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Jordan Tyson. Wide receiver, Arizona
I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing any chat. I don't think I am. Just in case.
Receiver to go off the board is the second one. If you're just joining us, Carnell Tate, one of the biggest early surprises of the night, went 4th overall to Tennessee. But what do you think of this pick to New Orleans?
We're good. We're good.
Quarterback last year, and I think they want to give him a weapon to play with. Really, when you look at their receiving core, really Chris Olave, and they need some more firepower, and that's what they get with Jordan Tyson, someone who, when you look at his quickness, his ability to get in and out of
So the Browns pick is already in. Giants pick is probably close to getting in.
so much twitch. You see it. You can see him get inside, outside. He's real sudden in his routes. Look how quick
They made the teams pick faster, but they're not announcing them quick enough.
Really naturally over the shoulder down the field for a home run. How about the ability to just hover in the air, just floating in the air against Baylor in this
Yeah,
game.
there's him getting up.
He walked out about 5 or 6 times, and then again, once the ball goes up.
So what I will say is, you would have noticed, for my write-up for Carnell Tate, I didn't really say has the potential to be a true wide receiver one in the league. I think it's not to say he doesn't have that potential, but there is that more upside there. I think is a true one on a team for Tyson than for Tate.
Conversation I was having with some of the folks about, boy, when he's healthy, he can absolutely go get it. He's so dynamic. Plus, he knows how to be the focal point of the offense. State, everyone knew the ball was going to Jordan.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to do a lot of nice
Still
things.
created space. He still made
They got the possession receiver. He's on his knee, crying a little bit as he walks down. Is it definitely a tough offseason for him? I'm sure emotionally. People talking about him, how late he might go. Nice big spit slob coming out of his mouth as he came up there.
To your point about him understanding being the focal point of the offense, doesn't have to be. Chris Olave will be right away. He will find his way to fit in, and they have a very mature quarterback. This is not an age joke. About Tyler Shuck, who came in and established himself the second half of last year.
Well, in the green room, apparently he was passing the time watching his brother Jalen take on the Toronto Raptors in Game 3.
Good player. Hopefully he can stay healthy.
Round playoff series in the NBA playoffs. That's one way to pass the time. By the way, I don't know if
We saw the jump
the Browns would have done 9th overall, but he was one pick away from potentially joining his brother in the same city.
All right. Browns pick is in. The Giants pick's got to be coming close. I'm not going to cheat and look at the Browns pick. What do we got? Is it going to be Spencer Fano or one of these offensive linemen? You would think it's going to be an offensive lineman here. That seemed to be where all the heat was, and the wide receivers now. The top two are gone. I think Spencer Fano really fits. To me, it seems like they were going for more zone guys with what they added. And you're probably looking for a guy who could potentially be your left tackle, I think, if anything. I don't think Francis Mauigoa is that. So I think it's going to be Fano. Other guys that they've apparently shown interest in would have been Caden Proctor and Freeling. So Caden Proctor would definitely match some of their historical history of going with like really big guys. Same with Freeling, really. Spencer Fano would be a little bit out of that. Freeling would fit that, and if they're going for more zone, then Proctor would. So Freeling kind of fits right in the middle there. But yeah, it seemed like they liked Spencer Fano, and that is the pick. So he's my number 1 offensive lineman. My number 8 player off of the board. I do have him tied with Francis Mauigoa now. with the back issues from Maui Noah, that came, it kind of moved more in favor of Fano again. He is my favorite, that's for sure. Cleveland, that's an A+. You know, he's my dude. I love him. Really impressed me at the combine in the on-field drills. Spencer is 6'5.5", 311 pounds. Was an elite run blocker last season in terms of his grading. Good in the pass game. Extremely good athlete. Good acceleration. Very good speed. Plus burst profile. Very good to elite agility. Excellent recovery when initially beat. Using all that athleticism when he's beat to recover. Quick striking hands when he latches onto blockers. Effortlessly reaches the second level to block downfield. He has sound technique. He is a versatile offensive lineman. Could use him at tackle, could use him at guard, could even play center potentially. He does have small hands, short arms, short wingspan, small wingspan. Sometimes he loses his balance and he ends up on the ground for no real reason. He lacks ideal strength. There are some pad level concerns with him. Could impact his ability to play at center, I thought. 3-year starter at Utah. Spent his first season at left tackle. Then Caleb Lomu took over at left tackle. He moved over to right tackle there. Had a down year after a stunning 2024 season. I have down in quotations because it was still a very good year. Fano has freaky movement skills, which will make him a prime candidate for a zone-heavy scheme. Those skills showed up on tape in his athletic testing and during the on-field drills at the Combine, where he stood out from everyone else in that regard. There are times that his short arm length shows up in a negative on tape. However, he's so quick that he's very often able to recover when beaten early in the rep and at least redirect the rusher to buy his quarterback a precious moment to get rid of the ball or to be able to avoid the rush as it's coming. By, once again, just at least getting enough in the way of making it so it's not like a bad beat. He should get an opportunity as a tackle at the next level. If that doesn't work out, he should be able to move into the interior effortlessly. I have a high-end first-round grade on him. Yes, I did. My 8th overall prospect. Love it. Great pick for Cleveland. And while we were talking, there goes Francis Maui Noah to the New York Giants. Nice pick. Nice pick there. Very good pick. They needed some help along the offensive line. You can't blame them for addressing the offensive line, so they get... So, wide receiver and offensive line? No, yeah. Linebacker, offensive line. Yes, sir, Fano. I love it. You like Fano? Attaboy. I'm glad. Glad you do, my brother. You got another pick, too. You ready for that? Think they'll move up or back from that pick? How you doing? So. Maui Noah. 6'5.5", 329 pounds, quite a bit different than Fano. Elite in pass protection, great against the run, physical, great for the run, not against it. Physical, large hands, heavy, good positional IQ, momentum stopper, team captain, power blocker, great awareness. Although he's a good mover for his size, he's not the best at getting to the spot on wide zone runs. So it looks like New York could go either way. They'll probably just do a lot more inside zone and power and some power blocking. I think they'll have a pretty healthy mixture in New York. Leans into run blocks, so it could get off balance and stuff when he's run blocking. Lack of arm length tends to be a hindrance on tape at times. His punch timing is inconsistent. 3-year starter at right tackle at Miami. Took a leap forward in 2025. Inconsistent performances against the toughest of competition as a run blocker, specifically. So once again, that's that leaning and stuff. Some of the better guys are going to know how to take advantage of that, and at the NFL, a lot of them are going to know how to take advantage of that and kind of let him fall on the ground, essentially, or use his own momentum against him. Maui Noah is a power blocker, best fit for a gap blocking scheme. However, even with his wide size, he's agile enough to adequately execute on inside zone scheme rushes. He displays excellent patience, IQ, and awareness as a pass blocker. He does get beat, typically to the inside, but he shows some great recovery ability. He moves well and should get an opportunity at right tackle, specifically. If he struggles too much there at the next level, he should be able to move into the interior with ease. I have a high-end first-round grade on him. So I think looks like they took him as a tackle. So we'll see. We'll see if he might start out as a guard there or not. Pick 24, Lomu. All right. I mean, I don't think they're gonna go 2 offensive linemen in the first round. We'll see. We'll see. Pair the Utah guys together. Fair enough. Well, they play on opposite sides, so I don't think their chemistry probably matters too much, right? But maybe. Maybe it would. How have you been, my brother? Are you did you go to college? Or are you just a working man these days? So, very good pick there for New York. Regardless, getting that offensive line in shape to help protect your quarterback. Maybe from himself, working a lot. Attaboy. I hope that's all going well.
About this shit, man. Man, I'm ready to die for you, man. I know a lot of things has happened, bro, but I'm ready to die for you, bro.
You have an ode to American Samoa on your jacket and your family, and even growing up there, you had to create your own football gear. There's a lot of kids.
Cowboys. Caleb Downs still available.
What's your message to them?
Hey, man.
Jamad McCoy, probably not going this high. Ruben Bain still available. Oh, by the way, Francis Manoy, my 11th ranked player, off the board.
So there you go. Cowboys split 2-5s to Miami.
Mekhi Lemon still available. Oh yeah, Cowboys moved ahead of the Dolphins. So, Downs, right?
Could it be Caleb Downs making his way to Frisco?
They sent, what was that? Pick 20.
Either him or a mystery will be revealed coming up.
For a life like no other, you need a
All right. Why am I confused? Why am I confused? They just showed a trade. Did the Cowboys trade out? Was that what it was? Did Miami trade up? 4 downs? I swear it said Miami. I don't want to get spoiled on a pick, so I don't want to look. What were they showing? They showed a trade. And I thought it said Dallas and Miami? I'm confused. Oh, were they showing the... Yeah, they were showing the Kansas City Miami trade. Thank you. Thank you so much for helping me out there. I'm like, so confused. Or, not Miami, and Cleveland trade. Yeah, that must have been what they were showing. Maybe? Did I really see both teams wrong? I don't know now. Yeah, nice little trade back for the Browns. Expected them to trade back from that 6th spot. I don't think too surprising there. Question will be, do they move up now for a wide receiver of their choice? Like to pick 15, maybe, from 20 to 15? Since they got that extra capital now to work with? I know I've had trades where I think I've had drafts where I had Miami taking 3 picks and moving maybe back from 6 and then moving up twice from 20 a little bit and then their 2nd round into the later portion. I'm pretty sure I did that once at least this off season. Cowboys, Downs. I agree with you. That would be my guess. Yeah, it is. Caleb Downs going to Dallas. Got a 1st round grade on him as well. That's an A+. I mean, he's my 3rd overall guy. Getting him here at pick 11. I think he's a very good safety. Now, I do wonder, will we see Dylan Thieneman go right off the board here at pick 12 to Miami? So, Downs gone. Let's get my defense up here. Go to my safeties. 5 foot 11 and a half, 206 pounds, great run defender, diagnoses and triggers at a high rate, above average tackler, great in coverage, good girth, so good build on him. Quarterback spy, he can do that. Insane click and close around the line of scrimmage. His instincts are great, especially around the line of scrimmage. His game IQ pre and post snap is very high. His field awareness is very high. He plays the ball well in the air. He keeps his eyes on the quarterback. Excellent in zone coverage specifically. Can cover any position. Yeah, he actually does struggle in man coverage. Can cover any position on the field. Fluid hips. Short with very short arms and a very small wingspan. Can cause tackling issues at the next level. So that's a concern. Wasn't asked to play as a deep safety too often, and he didn't do any kind of testing to ease any concerns about his speed. Can't be overly aggressive with his tackling angles and attempting and trying to get the interception, allowing big plays to happen behind him. Can look in the backfield too long and lose a man in his zone at times. Personality-wise, I thought he was very well-spoken, thoughtful. Clearly, he is very intelligent. It's a little bit low energy, shows an appreciation for the history of the NFL at the safety position, I felt like. Got some football pedigree in him. Josh Downs' his brother as well. That's not the only football pedigree in his family, though. I think both of his parents are athletes, maybe, but I think he's got dad and grandpa that played in the NFL, maybe. Special teams punt return ability as well that he can bring to the team as a little added bonus. He's very good. I love him. That fits a need for Dallas. I think that's a nice system fit for them. I think they needed a guy to be like their kind of nickel. He can probably do more than just be a nickel, but in certain types of situations, that's probably what you're going to ask from him. You're going to get quite a few snaps from that area. Box safety to nickel area of the field. And that's going to be Christian Parker's scheme. It's going to be a wonderful fit. So I think it's a very, very good fit. I think that's a good value. Love it. You know what? I think we'll just give that an S tier. We do have S tiers eventually. Kind of save that for some specialty stuff, but yeah. That's a good value by all means. All right, I think my cat wants outside. I'll be right back.
They revamped that defense after a loss to Oregon. Put him in the center of the field and allow those instincts to take over. He can patrol the middle of the field as well as anybody in college football. There he is playing free safety against Texas a couple of years ago. How about him triggering on this ball before anyone else is moving, creating turnovers for his teammates? He's terrific in run support. I tell you, he triggers faster than anybody on the defense, partly because of his preparation. Legendary Monday nights with Matt Patricia.
All right, we'll try to not forget her out there.
And he can blitz. This is where I thought he was most dynamic, DJ, is that he had the ability to get in the backfield and make production tackles. And that's what he did for a long time at two really great programs, Alabama and Ohio State. Oh, by the way, now he's a Cowboy. How about those three brands?
Dolphins pick is in. Ruben Bain, Dylan Thieneman, offensive line, Vega. Or Jermod McCoy if they're not afraid of that stuff, but I'm going to consider he's going to be a faller. I'm going to guess... Man, I don't know. I mean, they just have so many needs. I'm going to guess... Ooh! Guard, maybe. Caden Proctor. Well, I love Spencer Fano. You know that. I caught that before you were able to retract it. All right. The word was that the NFL really likes Caden Proctor. He would go earlier than we thought. He did. Offensive lineman. I'm going to guess they're going to announce him as a guard. We'll see. Oops, I passed up my offensive lineman. There we go. He is tied for my 7th. I wonder how Miami fans feel. Rams picks in, I think, very quickly there. Is that going to be Mekhi Lemon? That's... I have a first to second round grade on him, so that's a B for me. I mean, I'd just give it a B. I'm not going to go... They announced him as a tackle? Okay. I think they can use potential help there. So, my 24th overall ranked player. Yeah, a little high for me, for Proctor, but all the size in the world.
With the 12th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Caden Proctor, tackle, Alabama.
Tackle. Tackle it is. Alright, so Caden Proctor is 6'6.5", 352 pounds, elite against the run, great pass, and great in pass protection, plus burst profile, heavy, good movement skills for his size, better moving downhill than side to side, gets to the second level effectively, good anchor, big boy strength, creates a lot of legit knockback when blocking downhill. Very bad acceleration and speed in terms of his testing. Inconsistent pad level and overall technique. Foot quickness is lethargic. Has struggled to keep his weight in check in the past. Also, he did what he needed to do and he dropped weight as a plus. Showed some dedication to the NFL, I think, by doing that. Players with a pass rush plan can take advantage of his tendencies. He opens up to protect the outside too quickly. Inside counters and moves across his face catch him off guard, and he doesn't recover quick enough from those with that lack of lateral mobility. It did take a huge step forward in 2025. Started the year off in 2026 slow, but then picked it up. Proctor is a big boy, but he has some movement skills that may surprise, though he struggles a little with his lateral movement, which did improve from 2024 to 2025. He can get downfield to help at the second level when going north to south well enough, and when he does and he finds someone to block, he can open up a big hole for his running back. He has the ability to sit down and anchor as well, of course. His inconsistent technique and pack of concern, not of course, of concern is his inconsistent technique and pad level. Oof. Edge rushers with a plan can take advantage of him. Proctor tends to overset and protect the outside. He has all the tools and truly did show improvement in 2025, as well as some dedication to the game after losing more weight this offseason, as I'm sure was suggested to him by the NFL. He's going to need some work. The floor is a little concerning as a potential absolute turnstile, especially at tackle, but the ceiling is a dominant protector. He'll get a shot to play at tackle, and if it doesn't work, he'll be a fine guard. I have a late first or early second round grade on him. So, yeah, not a big shock that he ends up going really high up in the draft. Miami fans, this could work out excellently, or it might not. But if he doesn't work out at tackle, he's definitely going to have a shot to be a good guard. And at the end of the day, you can't complain too much about taking an offensive lineman, protecting the quarterbacks, kind of a big deal. I'm going to guess we're moving over to wide receiver here. Stay patient, and you still get your guy, Makai Lemon. But we'll see. Could be a tight end. I haven't done that because I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. Just like I didn't do Jeremiah Love to Arizona. I remember people yelling at me for Ruben Bain being available at pick 12, 11. No chance. There was a chance, and it happened. I wonder if the Ravens will take him. If the Rams don't, that's another route. The Rams could take Ruben Bain. They're not going to be able to pay everybody in their edge rush room. Let me mute that, by the way. So that's just a little bit of future proofing, and you can never have too many edge rushers. Although Ruben Bain would put them near the limit of what you need. But an injury, and then there you go. You're right back in the money with 3 really good ones. Because Bain would make a 4th, if not a 5th even. They're loaded there. Don't think it'll be Dylan Thieneman. Don't think it'll be Vega Ioane. Could be tackle. That could make sense, especially for future planning. Could be Ty Simpson. Don't think it'll be here. Could be. We'll see. If it's a offensive tackle, they would probably like... I mean, you would think it would be Monroe Freeling. Because the other benefit about them with Monroe Freeling is they wouldn't necessarily need to get him out there on day one. They could wait to develop him halfway throughout the season, whenever he's ready, next year, deploy him. Keldrick Falk could go over Ruben Bain. Don't think it'll happen. There's Bain. They're showing him.
Waiting to hear his name being called from the U.
He's
A dozen picks in.
looking at his phone. Looks like he's scrolling more than anything right now.
Ravens have gone through their entire 8 minutes.
Tampa Bay, Ruben Bain.
They have made their pick. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock right now with pick 15. Ian Rapoport.
Ravens made their pick. Doesn't look like it would have been Ruben Bain then.
Number 13 for the Rams. This is where the window opens for Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson.
There we go.
Yes, it is early, but listen to this. When the Simpson family was trying to make the decision about whether or not he should enter
We saw the report.
school, they consulted, among other people, Rams GM Les Snead, who told the family Simpson is for sure a first rounder. Now actually has the opportunity to make it happen.
13th overall. as
Les
the
Snead.
Rams spot
You said for sure a first rounder.
The Atlanta Falcons traded
Don't be a liar.
this pick to the Rams in last year's draft to draft James Pierce Jr., for whom there was a bit of news earlier today. He entered a 6-month pre-trial intervention program that could result in all
My
charges.
guess is Makai Lemon here.
Felonies and a misdemeanor. They was charged and
That's who I mocked the most to them.
involving his ex-girlfriend. If all his conditions are met and no jail time.
Not going to be Jamal McCoy.
This is somebody
I'll put money on that one.
traded a first-round pick last year to the
Watch it
Rams
be
to
him.
choose, and they might not have him at all. But that's for another day. The Rams, 13th overall here, they had 29. That's what a lot of people thought they would take Ty Simpson, but this could be.
Holy cow! It's Ty Simpson!
29. I thought this
Oh
was
my God!
unbelievable, but hearing Ian talk about it, if you look at it from two perspectives,
After all that, that's awesome.
you would love to
B.
go. You get a chance to go learn under the reigning MVP in Matthew.
I'm not going to give it a plus because I would have liked to see him go for it for the Super Bowl.
And you'll be put on the field.
That's awesome.
Be put on the field. And a great
So
team and a great organization.
first, second round grade. He's my 21st ranked prospect overall. But I do bump up my quarterbacks a little ways. So, like, he is the first, after, like, whichever first to second round guys, Monroe Freeland and Maxi Oninger, who I really, really like. The first time I have, like, some real question marks within that group is basically where I put the quarterbacks that I have in that range. So, Ty Simpson just moves up against guys who I do think are better prospects overall, but because of the positional value of quarterback, I think this is a great situation. I almost want to give it a B+, but then I almost want to give it a B-. So that's why we're just going to give it a B. But yeah, my 21st overall ranked prospect. Yeah, I thought he looked really good in what I've watched about him. Once again, I'm not a quarterback guru.
Simpson.
So this is the first big shocker.
So here's what I do have on him. 6'1", 211 pounds. Good big time throw rate of 6%. Poor accuracy. Below average turnover rate, 3%. Bad pressure to sack conversion rate, 18.3%. So I think that's right in there, the same as Mendoza was. Bad average time to throw, 2.95. It's pretty long. Smaller hands, 9 3/4 inch hands. But I really did like him watching him throw at the combine. Now, I kind of moved him up with that. I felt more comfortable with keeping him. I guess I felt more comfortable with him as a first rounder, whereas prior to that I didn't. And I have a rule where I don't move quarterbacks up based on any kind of combine throwing. But for him, I just really liked how he threw, so he kind of moved up in that process for me. So there we go. It's Simpson to the Rams. Hey. I mean, I don't think you can be too mad as a Rams fan, because if he's your future quarterback after Stafford's done, you're set. Yeah, how many teams out there need quarterbacks?
He had to wait till his 4th year to get on the field at Alabama, so he's been patient before. The whole discussion wasn't about the ability that Kurt was talking about. It was the starts, the only 15 starts. So I'm going to give a freebie to Les Snead. The new shirt is bleep them starts. If they don't care about that, they believe in the ability, and that's where they're going to go forward.
And you know that they will have a plan on developing it while he doesn't.
Listen to that entrance song, but we got to turn that down. All right. I don't have any rights for that music. Good pick of entrance song, though. I like that. I don't even know what it is. I should, though, I feel like, because it's very recognizable sound. Let's listen to what they got to say on it.
Everything is real clean and fluid and smooth.
His first 3-step drop was when he was there.
Exactly. His feet and the eyes are very connected. It's pretty to watch. You'll see him attack windows with anticipation.
Yep, pretty to watch. I agree.
The best throws you'll see in college football this last year. Then he is a good athlete. He can use his legs to get out of some trouble, and he can also take off and get some of those free yards. Here he is throwing on the move against Georgia and delivering a strike. So there's a lot to like about him. The question again was the starts and the lack of size. But he's not going to have to get on the field for a couple years. He can get stronger, and he's going to be a master at this offense whenever.
Yeah, the starts is the big thing for him. There is a huge question mark on Ty Simpson. But, I mean, it's a Super Bowl ready team. Would have liked a wide receiver. You can get some of those. They still got pick 61. You get somebody there. I remember I took him at 16 in a draft, and had some comments saying, no way he goes that high. So, cool pick. Not my favorite, but cool. All right, Ravens, Mekhi Lemon, Ruben Bain, Vega Ioane, most popular pick for them. Jermon McCoy. Would be interesting. Don't know that he's on the board this high up in the draft for a lot of teams. We'll see. It's Vega Ioane. There we go, baby. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be an A+, just because they needed that. We all put him there. Like, yeah, you know, we'll give the plus there. That's what I would have done. So that was my 15th overall ranked prospect. Taken at 14 there. Did I get that right? Yeah. All right. I didn't end up moving Jermon McCoy down because I just don't know about the injury stuff myself. But we kind of knew. So, Vega. 6'4", 320 pounds. Great in run blocking, an elite pass protector, large hands, powerful. He creates drive, latches on and moves defenders similar to powerful and creates drive there. Works up to the second level well. Excellent pad level. You love that. Great leg drive. I have one weakness for him. He's got some short arms. Whatever. 4-year player, 3-year starter at Penn State, left guard with some right guard experience, and took a few snaps at center and at left tackle and at right tackle over the previous 2 years. He's even taken some snaps in as an inline tight end. Vega Ioane. Did he get the first name? I wonder. Steady improvement each season as a starter, consistent performer with only one poor game. Such a high floor for Vega. Ione can work regardless of scheme. He moves quite well, creates pushback, and he anchors well. His biggest asset is his power, which should translate to the next level. He can move bodies and help control the line of scrimmage. There are some limitations to his range if he were to be used in a wide zone scheme, but he's fine for inside zone plays and displays good IQ and spatial awareness on zone rushing plays. The biggest flaw for Ione is that he can be overly aggressive in the run game, which results in some reckless decisions that cause him to be out of position to make the play. I have a high-end day 1 grade on him. All the Browns fans are crapping on the pick. Like, I swear Browns fans are so dumb. A lot of fans are. I don't know. They're crapping on your pick? They don't like Fano? They don't like trading back, getting extra capital, and taking the guy you're going to take at 6 anyways? Fano's great. They'll be happy with it in 2 years. What did they want, generally speaking? Because the wide receivers were already gone. Yeah, the wide receivers were gone. They were gone. What are you supposed to do?
There's flying, and then there's getting more out of trouble with flying.
They might have stuck and took Tate or Tyson if they liked him more at 6 if they were available. Well, Tyson was available at 6. It seemed like this is. I mean, the thing is Browns fans should have been prepared for this. Like, it was so widely reported that they were going to be going tackle first, and then you're going to get you got another first round pick. You're going to get Casey Concepcion there, maybe, or Denzel Boston. One of them should be there, or Omar Cooper. Yeah, like it was very widely reported that they liked Fano. There were some smoke screens out there. They never specifically said that they liked. It was just widely reported that they were going to draft a Freeling, but they had never said anything about Freeling themselves. That didn't come from any kind of insider information about who they like. They threw a smoke screen out there for Caden Proctor, which to me just felt wrong because it seemed like they'd gotten a lot of zone kind of blockers. So that's where I was like, it's Fano. Because those were the two names that were being tossed out there for them at like 6. I think Spencer Fano's great. I'm glad you like it. Screw them other fans. All right, so the Buccaneers, you got to think this would be Ruben Bain, right? Could go Jamal McCoy. You know, don't think he's going this high based on all the reporting. But some team, all it takes is one team as well. Mekhi Lemon, I mean, I wouldn't write off another wide receiver. I don't think it's going to be, but that would be interesting. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Like, people get so bored with tackles, but then when you have a bad offensive line, it's like the worst thing in the world. Exactly. The trenches is where it's won, my brother. You get it. You get it. Who's your Do you like Igbinosun? I assume you do because Ohio State. He is Ohio State, right? I'm a little bit more iffy on him, but you watched him a lot. Hey, there we go. I'm with you on that one. Yep. Very grabby. A lot of penalties. I don't think he's a very good mover either, and I think that's why he's grabby. Like, I think he's just really tight-hipped, and so I think he has to be grabby, and so that's my concern. Is like, now you're going to step it up to the next level? I don't think it's going to work out, so I'm with you there. A lot of people seem to like him. Buccaneers, who is it going to be? Or do they go with a linebacker? Do they pull off one of the linebackers early here? Yeah, I think probably left tackle, right? Would love to have seen what's his face get one more chance over at left tackle, and I mean maybe he ends up going right tackle and what's the big guy there? Yeah, it is Ruben Bain. I bet you there are some very excited Tampa Bay fans out there. That's nice. All right. Edge rusher Ruben Bain going to Tampa Bay. I mean, that's an A+. Getting my 10th overall prospect at 15 here. Yeah, it does fit a need. I have it maybe not as a huge need for them. You know what? I'm gonna give it an A because I do have my Bane concerns. And I didn't think that was necessarily their biggest need, but what's the board look like? Bane. I mean, they just really didn't have a choice. Like, yeah, of course they were taking Bane there. It is what I would have done, even with that. You know what? Borderline A to A+. All right. Get rid of that. So, Jamal McCoy, yeah, not a surprise, still available. Ruben Bain, 6'2", 263 pounds, elite pass rusher via PFF with a 24% win rate. Good run defender via PFF, sets the edge, very girthy, power rusher for sure. Really good bend for his frame, consistent get off, strong hands, pass rush moves developed in 2025, and he's good at stunting and looping on the inside. Once again, I mean, really good bend for his size. Yeah, they're happy. Physically, very short, very small hands, extremely short arms, very small wingspan. There are some concerns about that transition for him to the next level. That's why he's still here at pick 15. I'm not too surprised by the fall. Lacks speed, closing burst, and pursuit are not too great on him, so he might be more of a disruptor at the next level who might even just struggle to do that because of his arm length. Like, it all could not come together. Sometimes he gives up on plays, needs to improve his timing with his hands. 3-year player at Miami, Florida, has graded out well the entire time and took a big step forward in 2025. Personality, I thought he was very calm and polite in terms of his demeanor, a little bit mumbly even in his speech, but his quote, eat, sleep, and breathe football, no other hobbies. You love that. It kind of just seems to fit him. He said that so far teams have not asked him about his arm length. Bane is a thick boy built like a tank who you'd expect to be a guy who'd play on the interior of a defensive line instead of out on the edge. However, he has surprising movement skills and bend. He consistently gets off at the snap with quick power. I think you could see the impact Coach Jason Taylor had on his growth, on the growth of Bane as a prospect. He developed a solid set of pass rush tools to help him win this last season. He is not the most explosive and doesn't have prototypical size. Those things are evident on film. Still, he's an exciting prospect due to his rare combination of power and flexibility, leaving little doubt that he can be on the field for all 3 downs. He's not a flawless prospect, but he should go in the top half of the first round, and there we go. We got him in the top half of the first round, right? So, that is good. If Lemon makes it to 24, I want him, but I don't think he makes it, unfortunately. No, but if you can find a trade partner here at any point, like the Lions, I don't think they want to go behind the Eagles and the Steelers. Panthers would be the spot, but they might want Mekhi Lemon. Vikings, let's see. You don't have to worry about the Cowboys taking Dylan Thieneman and Feast, who you got your eyes on. Steelers could take him. Eagles could take him. So I don't know about that. Cowboys, if he's still available, could be the spot there, probably. Probably need him to last till 20, I think, to get him. Just checking to see if my cat's looking to get in. I don't see her.
Every step of the way, you've proven doubters wrong. What gives you the confidence that you can continue to do that at the NFL level?
They didn't like the Mason pick last year? Yeah. Fans will always be complaining.
We believe you. Thanks.
Could you imagine if you didn't have Mason now? Sadiq does go ahead of... Wow. I did not think Sadiq would go ahead of Lemon. Sadiq goes at 16 to the New York Jets. He is my 30th overall ranked prospect. Man, this would be a he just got a young tight end who's a developmental tight end last year. Now he's gonna be different. Sadiq's gonna be different. I kind of want to give it a B minus here. I think it's a little bit of a reach. The thing is a B minus. It's gonna look bad in the long run, probably. It does a lot of nice things. Blocks really well. Maybe this would be a B/B minus at least there. I'm not so sure about the B minus, but it's close. A lot to like about Sadiq. So that helps. That helps you. Yeah, I think Lemon would be a steal at 24 myself. So here's how I think you get Sadiq over Lemon. You didn't like the interview for Lemon. New York Jets would have been one of the teams that probably did not like his interview because he was a little intense, a little bit of an odd duck at the combine. All right, Sadiq is 6'3", 241 pounds. He's got large hands, extremely good athlete, elite explosive profile, smooth transition from the catch to the run, extremely smooth. I like to think of him as like an extremely athletic and really good version of what in a different universe like Kyle Juszczyk would have been. So very good acceleration, elite speed, can threaten deep down the seam. Very strong. He had 26 bench reps, solid run blocking ability, most notably at the second and third levels. Going to help to pop open some plays for that run game. Breece Hall is going to love him. Versatile move, F tight end, route tree is a plus. Below average weaknesses, below average yards per route run. His production only had 560 receiving yards. Solid number, not elite. High effort after the catch, not great results. 4.9 yards after the catch per reception, which tied for 221st in the nation in 2025. Extremely short arms and small wingspan. Bad hands. His route running isn't the best. His ball tracking isn't the best. Average contested catch rate. Adequate pass blocker. Spent 3 years at Oregon with increasing usage every year. Finally became a full-time starter in 2025. His worst games were against the best competition that year, which I don't love. He's only going to be 20. He's only 21. He's a fresh 21. Just turned 21 on March 4th. Or he will turn 21. He turned 21 on March 4th. Personality, handles himself like a young pro. Well-spoken. Sadiq has a rocked-up frame, and he is a young 21 years old prospect. He's an incredibly versatile skill set and is still developing. His game is still raw. Sadiq has a total of 81 catches for 891 yards in his entire college career. He's a classic projection. There are a lot of red flags on his profile for a guy generally being sold as a receiving back. His blocking ability was better than I had expected, and his receiving was worse than I expected. Still, he can contribute in so many ways as a true offensive weapon. If everything comes together, as a receiver, he has the ability to threaten all three levels of the field and run a vast majority of routes. As a blocker, he is not bad in line, and he's a plus in the run game as a guy who can help pop open the run by locking up with a linebacker or manhandling a defensive back. Ultimately, I lean into the low end of his draft range. There are too many red flags for myself to view him as a top 20 type of prospect. Top 50 due to upside, I am in on. So yeah, just a little bit high for me for Sadiq, but I get it. I totally get it. If Lemon goes to Cleveland at 24, is that a steal? I think so. I don't think Lemon gets past Carolina. Yeah, but like they could like Omar Cooper Jr. more. Casey Concepcion, I think, is pretty highly liked by the league. Or past the Steelers at 21. Yeah, a couple of roadblocks there, but I think the Browns are on the phone. I assume, unless thing is the Browns were one of the teams. They have a scout there who's very old school. They were one of the teams who came out and actually spoke against who you ended up drafting, but that wasn't because the scouts and the coaching staff wanted to draft them. Of course, your Sanders, Shedeur. And so I could see them having not liked Mekhi Lemon in his interview. Just a thought there. Because they didn't like the arrogance of Shedeur Sanders. Mekhi Lemon's like came off as the most arrogant guy in the world, even to an extent of being like it being not authentic even. Whereas for Shedeur, I think it at least kind of seemed to be who he is. Guy Lemons seemed to be a bit of a show. Boston at 9, at 24. It's like at 9. Oof. All right, so that's my lowest grade so far for New York. I would have just gone with a wide receiver, but you know, if you've got a guy higher than the wide receivers, you take him. I get it. It's just wide receiver tends to have a lot more impact than a tight end generally. But I do like the blocking game there. That's going to help so much for Breece Hall, getting around the edge, popping open some of those big plays. I would anticipate some long touchdown runs this year with those tackles too, getting another year older for them. It's a pretty good offensive line in general now. I mean, I think that'd be a nice fit. I personally, like, you know, I think I'd rather see you move Jeudy in and get an X receiver than keep Jeudy out and get a slot. So like Omar Cooper Jr.'s fairly slot only, Mekhi Lemons fairly slot only. I do think they each provide some ability beyond that, but not a guarantee and maybe not the most as like a Denzel Boston would. So I really like the fit of Denzel Boston. Casey Concepcion, another one of those guys who I think more of a slot, but he does have a lot of experience outside. It is Blake Miller. Darn. I kept going Ihanicher, but Blake Miller was my number 2 pick for them to the Lions. Darn. I thought it's not a surprise because they come out and said that they want guys that are going to be ready, and Blake Miller's the guy who's going to be the most ready day one. It's a good pick. Oh, you know what? You know what? Kenyon Sadiq was actually an A minus. Well, then I'm just going to give that an A minus. We moved into, once pick 17 came around, those first to second round guys were in range. So, Blake Miller. It's a really good pick. Yeah, it's an A plus for me. I think it's. I want a guy who can come in day one, play right tackle. I think you got him. No? I think he's good. Not the highest ceiling in the world, but I think he's good.
The Detroit Lions select Blake Miller, tackle, Clemson.
Yeah, my next highest rated tackle as well, my brother. Yo, that's the thing for me too. I'm not like a huge Boston fan. I like the prototype. I wonder if the Browns go a different route at 24 or even trade back from there and plan on getting their wide receiver just a little bit later. That's what I did in one of my more recent mock drafts for them. I think that's very possible. They just don't go wide receiver here. Panthers took no time. Or, well, maybe they did. Caleb Banks went to Minnesota. Okay, so Blake Miller, let me get that pick quick. Good against run, good in the run game. Great pass, 6'7", 317 pounds. Athletic, extremely strong. Good burst profile. That's the thighs, the jumping drills. Plays through the whistle. Mauler mentality, I thought, a little bit at least. Team captain, aggressive, strong base, latches, and he does not let go. Incredibly durable, 54 consecutive starts. He's quick. Struggles against speed. Technique issues with his kick step. Doesn't cover much ground. Real tight kick step. Lands his hands and inconsistent placement. Inconsistent hands. Plays too upright and allows defenders into his chest a little bit too easily. Inconsistent in 2025, but he showed improvement after a slow first 4 games. Miller plays with a mean streak. There's a rep where he pushes a guy literally all the way past the left tackle, and several where he pounces on top of guys once they fall on their butt. He has plenty of athleticism and to pull and block at the second level. There are zero questions about his motivation and effort. Speed can kill him. There are some technique issues he still needs to clean up. However, he should be able to come into the league and start immediately. I don't see any reason why a team couldn't test him out at left tackle if they wanted to, / had a need there. I had a mid to late first round grade on him. Mid to late first round grade on him. So got taken at the higher end of that, but I like him. And that's roughly right where I had him ranked, wasn't it? So Caleb Banks then goes to the Vikings. Warren at 24. Warren? Why am I'm blanking. Warren. Give me a full name. Caleb Banks ends up being the first one off the board. That's going to be a B. I'll just give it a B. I mean, if you felt good with the medicals on him, then good. Yeah, a lot of upside there. I don't. It's too high for me. But 6'6", 331 pounds, very heavy, extra long arms, an extremely large wingspan, extremely large hands, very girthy, good speed profile for his size. Plus burst profile, it shows up on tape. He is explosive off of the snap. There's no doubt about that. He had 7 career snaps. Dominates the rep when he wins, and he lands his hands first. Finishes the play when he gets to the quarterback. And those 7 career snaps, you got to remember, he missed a fair bit of time due to injury. Dominates the rep when he wins and lands in his... Finishes the play when he gets to the quarterback. Good closing burst on him. Weakness, inconsistent. Due to his height, he struggles against double teams, often allowing them to get their hands on his pads to stop his progression. He relies on his size and speed too much. He needs to work on technique, develop some pass rush maneuvers. That's going to be his game. Game IQ is lacking. He doesn't identify the run very well, and he gets out of position too often. Career production wasn't so high. 24 tackles throughout his entire college career. Once again, he did miss a fair bit of time, though. Recent injury history, preseason foot injury. Tried to play through it, got surgery, came back, broke a toe at the combine, reportedly on that same foot. And he's a big guy, so you got some concerns there. He only played in 3 games in 2025. A lot of profiles have him listed as 24 years old. However, he clarified that he's only 22. However, he was a 5-year player, so I guess he started college like 17, 18. Like 17, apparently. Spent 2 years at Louisville and 3 at Florida, 2 full years as a starter. Personality-wise, sort of intense, semi-fast speaker, holds himself a bit like a coach or a GM even. Straightforward and to the point. Overall, I thought he seemed pretty mature. Caleb Banks seems like a respectable young man who's had a rash of unfortunate injuries that may end up hurting his draft stock. He didn't. He's a true size-speed freak, and you see flashes of that on film. Unfortunately, he's been inconsistent on a down-by-down basis up to this point in his career. That inconsistency showed up at the Senior Bowl, where he had a disappointing day 1. He improved on day 2, and then he had a nice final practice on day 3. What I will say is you like that order of events. He improved throughout the whole thing. It's not like he had a bad day 1, really good day 2, and a bad day 3. The NFL is going to like the fact that he not only tried playing through his foot injury this past season, but he also came back from it after having early season surgery after re-aggravating in week 3. Banks has tools that cannot be taught. Based on those tools and tape alone, he'd be a very real option in the first round, but he's a 5th-year player who has never had an elite season. Has consistency concerns and injury concerns. I have a day 2 grade on Banks. There's enough upside and projection for someone to bite on him high in the draft, but there are quite a few yellow flags on his profile. So somebody did bite on him high in the draft. Hey, look at this. Getting closer and closer for you, at least to have your selection of a wide receiver there at 24. So Monroe Freeling goes off the board next to the Panthers. Did we get Caleb Banks off here? Caleb Banks was my 38th ranked prospect overall, which brings us to my 19th ranked prospect going 19th overall. Look at that, symmetry. It rhymes. All right. Monroe Freeling tied with Blank Miller for my 4th overall prospect, going to Carolina. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to go left tackle. I thought they were going to feel comfortable with what they did in free agency there. I mean, this is actually an S. No, it's an A. An A plus. Oh no, it's close. It's close there. It's close there. Monroe Freeland's a good prospect. I get it here at 19, obviously. Fine pick. Let's see here. Big boy, very athletic. 6'7.5", 350 pounds. Elite in pass protection this last season. Poor in run as a run blocker. Average though in 2024. So did show some better ability there in terms of the grading. Athletics, good acceleration, very good speed, very good burst profile. Physical, large hands, long arms, large wingspan, smooth, quick first step in pass protection. Gets too upright for a weakness here. His pad level in the run game specifically is issue for him, and that causes some balance issues for him. He's a little bit top heavy. Lacks activity in his feet at times, and he ends up lunging instead of staying square with the defender. Just needs to keep those feet going. He just needs some coaching up, really. 3-year player, 1.5-year starter at Georgia at left tackle, nearly 300 snaps of right tackle experience. Inconsistent on a game-by-game performance. That's one of those things where, you know, when you have those technique issues, like that can just happen. Freeling is a prototypical left tackle prospect. He has the size, length, and movement skills to succeed at a high level in the NFL. His best fit will be in a zone-heavy run scheme, however, which I'm not too sure exactly what Carolina would be running. Displays some knockback power that can work nicely in gap runs. His technique and lack of experience show up on tape, and he ends up on his butt too often. Those balance concerns we talked about. He's a very high-end developmental left tackle prospect who may take his lumps early if thrown into action immediately. So it is actually a really nice situation for him. He might not have to step into that left tackle spot immediately. He probably will. He needs to improve his pad level and the activity level of his feet. He should hear his name on day 1 of the draft. So my 19th overall prospect, and yeah, Eagles take Makai Lemon. Not a surprise, they kind of do that. There goes Lemon to Philadelphia. Yeah, they're going to be trading, of course, A.J. Brown. They tend to take the highest player on the consensus board. That falls to them a lot. So, yeah, not the biggest surprise. I've never quite had Makai Lemon this late, but there was some concern that maybe his combine performance was going to cost him. So that's going to be an S tier pick. I like the fit, but once A.J. Brown's gone, I still like the fit. Yeah, that's a good fit. That's a good fit. Now the Steelers aren't going to be trading with you. Are they going to take your other wide receiver that you want, Omar Cooper Jr.? They're not going to take. They're not going to take your wide receiver.
I mean, they have made all those moves. That's 3 new wide receivers that they've added. You mentioned Dontavian Wicks. They grab him from Green Bay. They acquire him. Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, it's a decent room now.
And now Makai Lemon, who you mentioned moments ago, a comp is Amon-Ra St. Brown, which, by the way, pretty darn good comp.
Steelers picks in. Hold your breath. Hold your butt cheeks. All right. So for Makai Lemon, 5'11", 192 pounds, elite yards per route run, good hands, only had 3 drops over the past 2 seasons, good after the catch, tough over the middle, works well in traffic, does a nice job of finding soft spots against the zone, technical route runner, good get off in the first 5 yards, quicker than he is fast. He can threaten all 3 levels of the field, however. Quarterback friendly, displays nice ball tracking ability, willing and efficient blocker as well. You love all of that. Very small hands, very short arms, very small wingspan, so you want an accurate quarterback. I guess that would be maybe a little bit of a concern. Top end speed, I think he could do a better job of allowing blocks to get set up in front of him. Rushes his route sometimes. I wish he'd go north to south more often, more quickly. He tends to dance around and go backwards in attempts to create the big play. 3-year player at USC, 2-year starter, who came out very strong in 2024 and improved in 2025. Special teams return man ability as an added plus there. One of those slot receivers who can threaten every area of the field. Yeah, you know, they talked about it. Amon St. Brown is a comp for him. I get it. Definite top 15 guy in my book, I said. So that's that's an S plus there. It's a good get for Philadelphia. They do that every year, right?
So the top guy is Julian Edelman. Pretty good. That's what he reminded me of.
That's a strong one.
Okay, so Philadelphia has its moment before the western part of the state has its. The Steelers are about to make their announcement to the crazy crowd here, but for the moment, here's Laura with Lemon.
Mackay, from the first time you ever put on pads and
He's doing the lip licking thing, soothing himself, sway inside. I call him the snake charmer. So the Steelers, I think Dylan Thieneman could be a guy. Could be a Key Messidor, Maxi Honicher, Pregnon. Probably not going to be Pregnon, but could be. Omar Cooper Jr. would make a lot of sense for them. Interior defensive lineman. Caden McDonald. What's this camera view? Oh boy, don't do that music. Get that off of here. That's some copyright stuff. Alright, so we got the big announcement for the Steelers at home. This one will probably take 10 minutes.
Steelers, the pit is in.
Okay. Enough with the licensed music. Good songs, though. I'm guessing Styx also from Pittsburgh. Didn't know. Renegade. Oh, doo, doo, doo. What's that? Oh my gosh, this Pittsburgh Steelers fan's about to hyperventilate. Calm down a little bit, people. Dallas trade to Philadelphia. Oh yeah, that was a trade, huh? And people yell at me when I do interdivisional trades saying it'll never happen. Teams don't just trade to help out another team. I don't know how people don't understand that. They trade because they like the trade. They say it's worth it. This is a long intro going on. Alright, I got a cat who wants in. Great timing. Be right back. Alright, I think the music's over.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are committed to growing the game of football and celebrating athletes at every level. Joining me on stage are 6 Jerome Bettis leadership.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that, but A.J. Brown's getting traded from Philadelphia.
Tackle players and flag football athletes. Jerome?
The Jerome Bettis Leadership Award
The kitty cat came here for the Pittsburgh Steelers pick.
leadership, character, and service. Both
Look at the
on and
camera.
off the field. Congratulations to each of you. We wish all of you the best as you continue your football journeys. The last time I introduced the Steelers' first-round pick, I was fortunate to introduce T.J. Watt.
So obviously Bettis on stage.
In the 2026 NFL Draft, is Pittsburgh Steelers
I like it.
select
I love it.
Ihanature, tackle,
I love that fit. Maxie Hunter is such a Steelers fit. I've taken tackle for them a few times. I never saw anybody else go tackle for them until, like these last couple of days. Which maybe is the only reason why their left tackle, Broderick Jones, had a neck fusion surgery, and then he had a setback more recently with that, which just the surgery on its own was a part of the reason. Pittsburgh, not Philly. So I have a first to second round draft grade on that. It is such a fit. How can I not? Maxie Honiger is new to the game, well ahead of where he should be, given the amount of experience he's had. Great story. Came over from Africa to California. Went to LA Valley Tech or something. I have the name. So Max went to East Los Angeles College. LA Valley Tech. That was close. All right, so Maxie Honiger, 6'5.5", 323 pounds, above average in pass protection this last year. Good acceleration and very good speed, by the way. Average as a run blocker this last year. He is hefty. Legit knockback power, strong anchor, pushback in the run game, good foot speed, tough, aggressive, brings violence to the ground. You can see why I think he's a great fit for Pittsburgh. Small hands, hand placement and timing's a little bad. Lunges as a run blocker, a little too much. Fails to sustain, actually lunges as a blocker quite a bit. Fails to sustain his blocks and slips off of them too often. His game IQ is still in development, but he shows some real promising signs there. His technique is inconsistent on a play-by-play basis. He's just kind of out there like winging it and still doing a really good job. 3-year player, 2-year starter at Arizona State at right tackle. He's improved year over year. Showed up at Senior Bowl practices and he showed some real power. Got into a fight with Derek Moore. Once again, just going to bring some attitude. Honiger didn't play football until his second year in college at East Los Angeles College. He can fill a role in any scheme. He's lean and he's mean, truly bringing a refreshing level of violence in his style of play. He creates true pushback in the run game and can knock rushers off their track with ease. He doesn't only have great upper body strength, but when he successfully latches on, he can anchor and hold the line well. However, his play is inconsistent on a down-by-down basis, and he can struggle to latch on with consistency. He will need to work on his patience in the run game, his hand placement, and timing with his hands and timing up his hands and feet. There are some mental lapses, but you will also see him succeed in the same areas that he's messed up in previously. He's ahead of where he should be developmentally, given how little football he has played, and for that reason, I'd be willing to take him in the later portion of the first round, and extremely excited to get him in the second, but he ain't making it there. One of my favorites of the draft. Great pick there for Pittsburgh. The Rams have made their pick. I think I've made this pick for them several times. They went with Akeem Mesidor. That's going to be the Rams. And this can work out very nicely for him. You didn't need a guard in the first round. First to second, I think he was my maybe highest or third highest out of this group once we got to the first to second rounders here. So I like the fit. I like the need. I don't see any reason why not to give that a plus. Big fan of Akeem Mesidor. He's a good player. Really good player. Just an older prospect. Everybody knows that by now. 6'3", 259 pounds. elite pass rusher with via PFF, 21.2% win rate, average to above average run defender via PFF. So just like all around a good player. Very has good physicals, large hands, girthy body, technical prowess, full pass rush toolkit, mixes things up between finesse and power, and has got some great counter moves. Has dropped into coverage at a decent rate, 68 times, and he was acceptable dropping back coverage. Good angles in pursuit, high effort player, good hands fighter, displays the ability to bend, though I don't see it a lot, but he does show some bend. Weaknesses, he is short, does have short arms and a small wingspan. He lacks some discipline in containment, so you'd like to see him set that edge a little bit better, not leave his gap, so to speak. Speed to power, not really a strength of his. 6th-year player, spent 2 years at West Virginia, then 4 years at Miami of Florida, and he took a leap forward here in 2025. He's going to be 25 years old on draft night. Took over 2,500 snaps. History of foot injuries included in the season, ending one in 2023. Personality-wise, I thought he was mature, calm, confident, well-spoken, and thoughtful. Claims to be a film nerd, so you like that. Took full advantage of learning from Jason Taylor, I felt like. Yeah, you know, the concerns are just kind of the age, 6-year breakout-ish there. But could they stop playing that song? But all in all, did I put the Rams? Gosh, Chargers. All in all, I think a really good fit at an area of need for them. So, nice job, LA. Cowboys pick is in at 23 after they had traded back. They already got a safety. I would assume they would have liked if Akeem Messidor made it to them here. That might have been the bet they were making by moving back to 23. Keldrick Falk, though, that would be my bet here. Yeah, I like Keldrick Falk or Caden McDonald. Would be my biggest bets there. Who did the Vikings go for again? Oh yeah, Caleb Banks. I went D-tackle for the Vikings for so long to start out this offseason. Then started going other ways. So I would expect Dylan Thieneman could go. I mean, shucks. I think the Browns could use a safety. You've got Ronnie Hickman, Grant Delpit. But I think, if I remember correctly, Delpit's maybe on his last year contract. Daniel Thomas behind him. I kind of like Daniel Thomas. But, I mean, it would be a different story. With Thieneman, I got a crazy cat making trouble. I mean, could go offensive line again, but I don't think you will. Oh, of course, Denzel Boston. Did I miss that one? Omar Cooper Jr. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Falk? Nah. My guess would be Boston. Malachi. Oh, you know what? I got confused who I'm talking about. Now we're on Boston. Yeah. Malachi Lawrence does make it into the first round. My 43rd ranked prospect. I have my concerns on him, so we'll get to that. Dallas, second to third. It's going to be a B. I'll leave it as a B. They did go edge. All right. 6'4", 250 pounds. I actually don't have a whole lot of negatives written on him, but near elite pass rusher via PFF, 19.6% win rate, very close to being elite number there. Elite burst profile, shows up on tape, especially in terms of his closing burst. Really see him close in on tackles extremely well. Very good speed and good acceleration, average for his size. You can see that on tape at times at least. Smooth lateral mover, shows some good counters, high motor guy. Poor to bad run defender. Like, really not good run defender. Small hands, takes a false step. That's something you can clean up, but it takes a false step. Doesn't really have any power. I love to see a guy's athletic profile match what you see on film, and you see it with Malachi Lawrence. He is good off the line. Could be better if he cleaned up his false step. You see his burst when closing in on tackles and making up for lost space when in pursuit. You see everything come together when he works on stunts. He is relentless, and he plays through the whistle, never giving up on a play. You see him use pass rush moves effectively. He struggles with power, which can be costly at the next level, and is also a part of the reason he's a liability against the run. At the end of the day, they're called edge rushers for a reason, and this dude can hunt. There's some development to go, but you feel pretty good about the upside for Lawrence. I think he's a high-end day 2 prospect. So, little high for me here, but there, just set it on there. He can really finish. Great closing speed. He's a hunter. Secondary plays. Talking about the athletics. Browns pick is in. Denzel Boston.
Assistant defensive line coach for the Dallas Cowboys, Dimitri Grimm, was the defensive line coach at Central Florida.
I don't know it. I'll only know it once it's on the screen, which I assume is at best equal to your TV. But yeah, also if there's anybody else in chat, don't spoil it on us. Who do you want? Would you prefer Omar Cooper Jr.? Are they going to a commercial again? Yeah, I've been going KC to them. That's been my guess. R. Mason? I don't think they're going edge rusher. Why do I keep not thinking of who you're talking about with Warren? Manuel McNeil. I'd rather Dylan Thiedemann than EMW. Lomu? No. I don't think they're going O-line again, but they certainly could. I don't think they will, though. Imagine Browns fans at that point. So, I need 4 players to go for my prediction on guys that go in the first round. We're getting there. We're getting there on those players. I like our Mason Thomas. This would be high for me for him. Jamad? I mean, yeah. I think it'd be a good pick. They've got guys right now, but you're going to need cornerback very soon. And, I mean, if he's healthy, it'd be an improvement anyways. And the number 1 guess is wide receiver, right? But could go elsewhere. Defensive tackle, too. You guys don't have anybody but Mason after 20 this year. Like, nobody. Not of any kind of name stature, at least. Under contract. Yeah, I personally, I would go Boston. probably.
And subscribe to NFL Plus for more action
But
for the picks.
he's also one of those guys that I don't know that I would draft either. So like I might just go with a different position. So yeah, I've been predicting KC to them. Got that one right. Just looking into who they were looking at, it was KC for them. And a lot of teams were looking at him too, so I just assumed he would go before Boston. You're going to give him some nice versatility. Yeah, I don't think you can complain about it too much there. So, KC Concepcion going to Cleveland. That's going to be an A. Just an A. I'm not going to give it a minus. Not going to give it a plus. He's not really a my guy or anything. But, definitely fills a need. So, KC Concepcion, 5'11.5", 196 pounds, good yards per route run, does a good job of separating from corners early in his route and in the open field, so you love the separation ability from him. Definitely a plus for him. Has a larger catch radius than his size suggests. Manufactured touch weapon, screens, end arounds can bring a little bit of that to you. I like how he comes back to the quarterback. He makes quarterbacks' lives easier in that sense, so I like that. He's always fighting for more yards. You like that. He's not solely a slot receiver. Showed potential as a Z in his final season in college, so there is more to him than just a slot receiver, I think. Weaknesses, bad hands. Issue there. Like a technical issue with how he catches the ball. Very short arms, but he makes up for it with his... He does create a decent catch radius despite his short arms. Lack of tempo and multi-speed play. I talked about that before. I like guys who put tempo into their routes. He's just kind of a one-speed route runner. Not a plus in the blocking game. Not going to bring any of that. He ate against lesser competition on his schedule, which is always just a little bit of a concern to me. Bengal compares his movement skills to OBJ. I see shades of Zay Flowers in his game. But I get the movement skills, OBJ comparison. Great punt return special teams potential, so a little added bonus there. 3-year player and starter. Multitude of minor injuries and a hamstring injury in 2024 and 2025. KC is a really good weapon to have for manufactured touches who threatens the short and intermediate areas of the field. He's lethal with the ball in his hands, quicker than he is fast. I like that he always tries to get north to south once the ball's in his hands. He is not a very nuanced player. He tends to play at one speed at all times. He won't offer much in terms of helping to block in the running game. His hands are questionable, especially when he's with them. Okay, that said, he does provide a large catch radius, larger catch radius than you'd expect. Often enough, plucking the ball out of the air with acrobatic catches. That's how he provides the. He's got good instincts and good jumping ability and everything to get to the ball. Does a fantastic job of creating separation, which is a huge asset to have for a wide receiver. I certainly wouldn't fault anyone for taking him in the later portion of the first round. There we go. We're kind of right into that later portion of the first round. I think it's a good pick. Yeah, they've just been an issue, so hopefully they don't continue to be. I mean, you know, most wide receivers don't have hands issues. That's why they're a wide receiver. It has bitten a few in the butt. And he's a guy who's on that list of, hopefully it's fine. But there is some concern there. Outside of that, I mean, like if it wasn't for those hands issues, honestly, like I might have held them at that against him pretty heavily. As you can see, generally I like him. It's just size and hand issues. A little bit of injury history for him. But I mean, if you get Zay Flowers out of him, like I think, if you get somewhere between Zay Flowers and OBJ Prime, I think you can be pretty happy with that. So the Bears have, Bears pick is in. Texans are on the clock.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Lowe's knows tackling projects now means you can football Sunday.
We need a new fridge.
This one has craft ice on demand.
More ice than
I mean,
All kinds of ice, actually.
a better version of Jerry Judy's needed, right? Because Jerry Judy ain't doing it. Yeah, he has some.
And in business.
I mean, He's a better mover than Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy was like a super precise route runner kind of guy. I think he brings more. Maybe, you know, if he was in the same draft as Jerry Jeudy, I don't know that he would have gotten drafted as high as Jerry Jeudy, but in terms of what Jerry Jeudy's been in the NFL, I think there's some differences there. He's, once again, I think more OBJ, Zay Flowers, but he'll be able to do some of the stuff you want Jerry Jeudy to do for you. That's for sure. So, like, now that room, you got Cedric Tillman just doing the sacrificial act stuff out there. Hopefully he can stay healthy. You got the veteran Jerry Jeudy who can move around, and then you have him who can move around, and they can both bring you a lot of versatility. And then you have Isaiah Bond who can just be another guy who can do some manufactured touch stuff along with him, as well as just be a burner mostly. I don't remember. Can he do does he do any end around stuff, Isaiah Bond? Or is he just all straight line speed? Kind of don't recall anymore. Hey, man, by the way, your David Njoku draft pick. Remember last year I gave you shit on that one? Not David Njoku, Harold Fannin. Ended up being a player. I just thought with David Njoku there, like, there's no way, you know, a second tight end never does anything in fantasy football, but came out, he was better than Njoku right off the bat. Heck of a year for him.
With the 61st pick of the Super Bowl, the National...
Should have turned that off during commercials. So the Bears pick was in. Oh, I mean, that's got to be a Dylan Thieneman pick, right? Yes, Dylan Thieneman off the board to the Bears. Yeah. Think you're excited about that. That's an S+ for me. Love Thieneman. Good job, Chicago. Hate you for it. Wonderful pick. My 13th overall prospect going to my division rival, Chicago Bears. So, yeah. Sounds like you're, I mean, you're looking at guys online. You know, people online just complain about everything. It's ridiculous. I'm sure there's a lot of fans that are excited about this stuff. You know, I mean, I had Dylan Thieneman, you know, not as a pure first round pick, but I mean, it's pick 24. What can you do? I mean, they did the right thing by staying pat. They didn't use any resources to move up, and they still got, I think, their target. I think he's who they wanted. Actually, clearly he's who they wanted because Boston and Cooper were still available. So, Dylan Thieneman, 6 foot, 201 pounds. Good in coverage in terms of his grading. He plays the ball really well when it's in the air. Really nice back pedal and extremely fluid hips. Above average as a run defender. He is a great tackler. Has a large wingspan, so that tackling ability should be able to work at the next level. Takes good angles in pursuit. Can get too aggressive when triggering downhill sometimes.
The Chicago Bears select Dylan Thieneman, defensive back, Oregon.
Yeah, they're excited. Elite long speed and good acceleration. Average to good for his size. That's just a number that I have. Elite ability to trigger downhill and get in the backfield. Covers a lot of ground. And his numbers prove that. Good power in his lower body. Very good vert and average broad jump to verify that one for me. And willing and physical player, regardless of size/height difference. He's got that dog mentality in him. Small hands. Struggles against bigger-bodied tight ends. Can get washed out near the line of scrimmage if a defender gets their hands on him. But I just think that you're using him. I don't think you're. He can move down towards the line of scrimmage, but I think you're using him more so as an over-the-top center fielding type, more often than not. His block shedding is like so-so. He only did 1 year, 2 of that stuff. So you see, like, his biggest struggles were the stuff that he was asked to do in his final year of college. what he had not been previously asked to do when he was somewhere else prior to Oregon. I can't remember where. My write-up for him: athletic, physical, and willing, rangy safety who can cover the entirety of the field and play down near the line of scrimmage. Good pre-play diagnosis and doesn't get too aggressive, keeping him in position when he does get fooled, which does happen. Quarterbacks will think they can make a throw, but because of his speed and maybe even intentionally baiting quarterbacks into some throws, he gets there. Personality, film nerd. Some people said they didn't see his speed on film, and I never got that. I saw his speed on film because, like, sometimes, like I said, I don't know if he was baiting quarterbacks or if he's might be a little bit of a slow processor, which would be an issue for where I had him ranked at 13, but not so much here at 25. He would make up that ground, like, very regularly because of the speed. But he is a film nerd, so I love that for him, especially in terms of the growth, because he does have some growth in some areas, the overly aggressiveness in some areas of his game when triggering downhill, as well as the recognizing plays, so he's not having to rely on his speed to make up room unless he was just baiting quarterbacks. Are just a couple areas where he needs some help. Relatively low energy to the point that he doesn't expand upon his thoughts. He just answers the questions and move on. So he might have come off a little bit disinterested in interviews or something like that. He wasn't like an ultra impressive guy, but I also kind of don't mind that. Like, that's fine. I don't need a guy to be flashy. I just want him to watch a bunch of tape. So I'm a huge fan of Dylan Thieneman. Once again, I'm going to get to see a safety that I really like in my division. Yes! Let's go, Houston! I did not think they would go offensive line with their first pick in this draft, but they do, and that's not a bad move. And they got a guy who I really like in Keelan Rutledge. You know, a little bit high for me here. We'll get into why in a moment, but I mean, that's a B+ for me there for Houston. Also fits a need and everything. So for a moment, I did have a first to second, or a stronger second round grade on him. But I took it away. Where are we? Offensive line. So, yeah, Houston moved up for that. From pick 30. San Francisco moving back. Probably... Well, I guess they're okay then on Denzel. Not afraid of Denzel Boston getting taken. I wonder what that means for them. We'll get to that. So Keelan Rutledge, 6'3.5", 316 pounds. Great in the run game. Average in pass protection this last year via his PFF grades. Athletically, he's got good speed plus burst profile. Good to very good agility. Good technique, tough, knockback, and moves guys very well. Good sustain. Some balance concerns for him. Bull rush can catch him before he gets his anchor set, and he leans and he lunges in pass pro a little too much. A 4-year player, 3.5-year starter at right guard, 2 years at Middle Tennessee, then 2 years at Georgia Tech. Progressively has improved year after year, which I love to see. Was inconsistent on a game-by-game basis, and he beat up on lesser competition. These were some of my concerns that pushed him down just a little bit. He had a good showing during the Senior Bowl practices, which always helps. Rutledge has a mean, pissed-off attitude on the field. He moves well for... That's something I feel like Houston needs. He moves well for a guy as wide as he is. He has a good understanding of technique. He's a bit of a development in terms of needing to learn a little bit of patience in pass pro. If he can tone down his aggression, just pull back a little bit in that area and ensure that he is in position to handle the pass rush, the bull rushes, I think a lot of his issues will be cleaned up immediately. I have a day 2 grade on him. Big fan of Keelan. Let's see what they got to say.
Is going to be very popular with his running backs because of what he does in the run game.
Brent Key, very tough coach, right? Down in Georgia Tech, said this guy is the
So Dolphins,
ever coach.
But sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the
I forgot what they did. Proctor. So edge rusher, wide receiver, guard. The guards are now starting in Keelan Rutledge. So I won't be shocked if suddenly we see 1, 2, 49ers could possibly go in that direction. But Dolphins and Bills could go guard, either one of them, both of them. We'll see if that ends up pushing that up the board. The Dolphins also could move up from their next pick for a guard if guard ends up going to, the Bills or something after him here. So they don't have to be too concerned. Seahawks could go guard. But they also know the Seahawks want to move out, so if they wanted to move up for a guard, that would open that up. So you probably go wide receiver here at 27. I've been going Denzel Boston for them, so that would be my pick. We'll see if that's what they like. I'm going to get that up and I'm going to get that ready. Just the wide receivers, at least. But I'll get Denzel Boston ready here. What's up, Robbie? How you doing? Seahawks want... Yeah, I said that. So that would be like the perfect spot for Miami to go wide receiver here. And then if they do want a guard, if one goes, another one goes, then they could move up for that. Or they could just move up for it anyways to get the guy that they want. Which, I don't know who it would be, but personally, I go Emmanuel Pregnant. How have you been, Robbie? Who's your team, Robbie? I don't remember. Because I guess we just talk fantasy. Oh no, I've drank all my water and my flavored water. I'm out. It is the Seahawks. All right. Cool. Thanks for stopping in for the final here. Yeah, I would assume they'll move out, but the only thing here is I've not had them move out like a couple times because I haven't been able to get them to move back. The Super Bowl champions. To nobody's surprise once they beat the Rams. I said to friends and family, this is the Super Bowl when it was them versus the Rams. I'm like, these are the two best teams in the NFL. So, nice pickup there by Houston. I guess they were afraid. Oh, or cornerback. Yeah. Chris Johnson, awesome. Love it. That's my boy. My 31st overall ranked prospect going to Miami here at 31. Originally had him a little bit higher on my board after the first time that I watched him. I should have said cornerback or wide receiver there. And then you can move. Not for guard or wide receiver. Probably. So I would think that they might be talking to the Seahawks already. Chris Johnson. Great fit for the system here. 6 foot, 192 pounds. I don't remember if I ended up taking Chris Johnson for them, but I know I got close. Elite in coverage in terms of the PFF grading. Extremely large hands, good speed, fluid back pedal and fluid hips, good discipline and technique. Those are the things I love to see. If you're fluid and you got great technique, I'm in. Fantastic playing off coverage in zone. Versatile and shows good press man ability as well, but his overall man ability is a little bit limited. Bad versus the run. It's weird. There's some really nice run tape out there for him, but throughout the entirety of the season, he did rate out bad against the run. So he's willing in the run and might be able to bring you a little bit more there. Does have short arms, gets grabby against larger wide receivers. Play strength at the catch point's a little bit of a concern. 17 bench reps suggests he has the potential to be better though. Can struggle against burners. 440 times suggests he could clean that up. Might want to learn to flip his head around when in man coverage and the ball is in the air. Played at San Diego State, played really well in his first year of a full-time starter, his true junior season, then broke out his senior year. Had an all-around good Senior Bowl, earning a compete rep at the end of practice. It was not a 100% clean Senior Bowl. There he is, he's crying. I love him. Can be an asset on special teams as a gunner. Love some of the gunner stuff I saw from him. Johnson plays like a smaller cornerback at times. I think that shows up the most when he's in man coverage. He should remain on the perimeter, however, as he offers little value in the nickel. Once again, that run defense wasn't quite there. He displays a lot of great traits, especially when pressing the wide receiver, that could improve with more time at the position. However, I'd have some concerns about him if I ran a man-heavy system, which we should be fine there in the Jeff Hafley system. However, in zone coverage, he does an excellent job. He put together a phenomenal 2025 season and appears to have put on a few pounds going into the Senior Bowl, where he put together a few good days. In the right system, you could think about him on day 1 in the NFL draft. We got the right system there, but he should be a lock on day 2 as a guy who has a lot of potential. The combine shows he has the proper tools. He just needs to trust those tools and take to some good coaching, take that step up at the next level. Big fan of him. I am going, by the way, I might have been a little off center there. So Houston, that was a B+. So to the cornerback. My boy, Chris Johnson, my 3rd overall ranked cornerback, and then Jermod McCoy, honestly, obviously, if I had the medicals on him, maybe I would have had Chris Johnson as my number 2, but I don't got the medicals. So, Miami, that's going to be an A+. I love him. Great pick. Did I eliminate him? Yes. Not on here anymore. Caleb Lomu. Going to New England. See, I once almost did it, and then I thought they would probably just wait till the 2nd round because they wouldn't want to create any kind of controversy. I don't know why I said controversy like that, but I did. This is going to be a fit. They need a right tackle.
Bills, who just moved down twice. So the Patriots with their first pick, the AFC champion.
I'm going to give it an A-. I'm not a big fan, but I get it.
The New England Patriots select Caleb Lomu, tackle, Utah.
They're all gone now. Every tackle and interior offensive lineman I have in my top 50 are off the board through 28 picks. It has been a boatload of them. We have seen 1, 2, 3, 4.
So my 36th overall prospect, Caleb Lomu. 6'6", 313 pounds. Great in pass protection, poor against the run, but he was average in 2024, so, might have just been a little bit of a down season there for the grading. Good athlete, good acceleration and speed, good burst profile. He's got a really nice kick step. He's got the power to anchor in him. Plenty of good technique, great handwork, great footwork, great form, great balance, mirrors really well. Weaknesses, once again, that run blocking, lacks strength in the run game. He lacks any kind of nasty. He's high cut and high pad level, gives rusher a big target to get into him to control the rep, and then you got the lack of strength on top of that. Slips off of blocks and doesn't sustain too often. Once again, a strength issue. Despite some really good movement skills, Lomu can struggle against true speed rushers and even more so against speed to power rushers. However, all in all, he's a really solid protector in the pass game. He does a lot of things well. When it comes to the rushing attack, he struggles. He doesn't move bodies easily. He lacks some nasty in his game. He struggles to sustain blocks, too often slipping off of them early. He has some mental lapses where he gets lulled into being attacked around the edge, and then he gets caught off guard for an easy win on the inside. You do see that happening to these college guys. He needs to clean up his game just a little bit, but given how little experience he has, you feel good about. He's just a 2-year starter. You feel good about the projection as a quarterback protector. If he can focus his efforts in the weight room, add a few pounds of healthy muscle in his upper body and core, his run game should improve. I have a late first or early second round grade on Lomu. His floor in pass protection is great. So, yeah, I think he's got, a really good base to work from. Just get in the weight room, kid, and, I think that's I don't think he'll be starting to start the year. I think he's your future right tackle more than likely, but gives you a little bit of safety if that left tackle doesn't quite work out. So overall, that works out nicely for them. Good pick for New England. So we need Keldrick Falk and Denzel Boston to go. 2 guys I just barely kept on my list as guaranteed to go in the first round. The Jets move up. That's got to be wide receiver, right? Oh, and Omar Cooper. Oof, we're getting down there. Jets, Unless they get desperate. If they want a guard. Or Jermod McCoy. I think I had them move up for Jermod McCoy in one of my more recent mocks. Yeah, and I've had Buffalo move back. Look at that. So the Chiefs, Jermod McCoy, but if the Jets moved up for him, then he's still there. What did the Chiefs get earlier again? It was Mansour, so you would think this could be the Keldrick Falk spot. Could be a wide receiver. Offensive line went. I don't think they're going... Not going tackle, that's for sure. And I don't think they really need guard, if I remember correctly. I would think they'd like Keldrick Falk. I think I've given them Keldrick Falk before. 1 or 2 mocks. Oh, they got the cornerback. I was going to say Avion Terrell, but no, they got the cornerback. They could use 2. I mean, they could double down on that and go with Terrell. I would assume they would like Terrell. Same with Colton Hood. Do you tackle Peter Woods? All right. I don't think I've done that. But like that's where Keldrick Falk, they might have viewed Keldrick Falk as a guy that they would move to the inside if they liked him. So yes, Peter Woods is my 39th ranked prospect. He is a first to second round grade though. Second to third round, grade. To Kansas City. I don't mind them getting more help in the trenches there, that's for sure. It's going to be a B. I'm not a huge Peter Woods fan, so it'll just be a B. You know what? I would have gone different routes. I'm going to give that a B-. There's several different routes I think I would have gone for them. Not offensive line. Edge rusher. We might have gotten this similar thing from him anyways with Keldrick Falk. But I like Keldrick Falk more. Or wider. I don't know that I would have gone wide receiver. That's close. To being just a straight B. But let's see what I said about Peter Woods. Maybe that'll change my mind if it's more positive than I remember. So, 6'2.5", 298 pounds. Above average to good versus the run. Average pass rusher. Versatile. Spent most of his time in the B-gap, but Clemson moved him around a fair bit. He took nearly as many snaps as an edge rusher as he did in the B-gap in 2024. Yeah, I mean, him, Keldrick Falk, could have gotten a lot of similar things from them. It's just like Keldrick Falk would be the edge rusher that can move inside. He's the inside that can move a little bit outside. Heavy hands fighter, shows flashes of strength in one-on-one situation. Maybe I should just nope, because I would have taken Keldrick Falk over him. Shows flashes of strength in one-on-one situation. Holds up against double teams. You know what? Here's the thing, though. You know what? You could still go edge rusher with your next pick. So that could be there could be a strategy here. I'll give him a B. Good burst, good motor, holds up against double teams, good lower body power, good athlete to execute stunts really well, plus lateral quickness for him. Shows flashes of strength in one-on-one situations. Weaknesses, very small hands, extremely short arms, and extremely small wingspan. Shows up on tape. Blockers are able to get their hands on his chest, hence all the hand fighting. Gets out of position against the run too often. Struggled against strong blockers. 3-year contributor at Clemson, 560 snaps total his final season, which isn't bad. Down year after a stellar 2024 and 2023. Both those seasons were stellar. Snap usage increased by a lot in 2025, so I do have some questions about keeping up with snaps, but should be fine with a little bit of time. He kind of beat up on the lesser competition. I don't love to see that. Personality-wise, good posture, well-spoken, confident, quick-witted, showed some intelligence, some understanding, some processing. I like that about him. Woods is a young developmental D-tackle with some nice upside. The combination of his short arms and some missing strength caused him to be completely locked up when facing strong blockers. Seeing as he's young, you hope to develop his strength as you do see flashes of him tossing blockers aside and to the ground. when he is the stronger of the two. He has a powerful lower body and holds up pretty well against double teams. He also has a knack of splitting through those double teams. You have to appreciate the motor that Woods plays with, and you can see the upward trajectory. He's a fresh 21-year-old. There are some physical limitations that you can't do anything about. I don't think his strength or lack of will hold up early on in his career. Therefore, I see him as an early day 2 prospect. And the New York Jets did move up for a wide receiver. It's Omar Cooper Jr. I think that's a really nice fit in there. I like the slot receiver for them because I like Mekhi Lemon for them. Oops. What am I doing here? I have now probably zoomed past. Jets selection.
Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver, Indiana.
My 28th ranked prospect.
You were right. You had him taking him 16. Now they're taking him 30th.
Yeah, I think you'd be pretty happy with that. I almost took him for them at 16, and I'm sure I did once. So, that is the Jets. I like that trade up. I like that. I think that's a great move by them. I know I've traded up with them before into the end of the first round. At least once. Thought about it more than once.
He started at Indiana. Sid got there. He stayed there and competed. This guy is Debo White. I love that comparison, DJ.
6 foot, 199 pounds, above average yards per route run, alignment and role versatility, excellent yak receiver, caused the 4th most missed tackles in all of college football in 2025. That's what they're talking about with the Debo-like there. He has excellent, great contact balance. That's Debo-like. Threatens all 3 levels of the field. That's, I think, a little less Debo-like. Gets up to speed quickly, displays some nice tempo and timing. I really like that. Very short arms, route technicality. Is not great. A little bit of a limited route tree that they used him on, but route tree, like, that's not my biggest concern in the world. Like, sometimes you can only do what you're asked of, right? Has shown some inconsistency in play, and reportedly coaches have questioned his dedication to the game. These are my big concerns for him, why I didn't have him higher. I don't know that he makes any quarterback better, but a good quarterback can make one heck of a player out of him. So I guess that would be my concern here for the New York Jets. I guess it's like a borderline AA+. Because they also had to spend some capital to get up for that. But 3-year player at Indiana with 1 year of high-end production, served as a deep threat on the boundary in his sophomore season. Then they moved him into the slot where he absolutely blew up. So much better in the slot. While watching Cooper, all I could think was, this is what an NFL receiver looks like. I didn't write that for anybody else. I thought that for maybe a couple guys, kind of, but like, he was the one where just immediately, I'm like, this is what it looks like to be an NFL receiver. He's a natural, and I think he has the potential to become one of the better receivers in the league. He's not a burner, but he has a third gear that he can hit when the grass is green in front of him. He does an excellent job of getting open. He may not always be wide open, but he is still open, which is part of my concern about the good quarterback thing, which is where the Jets has a little bit of a concern for me right now. Due to his inconsistent performances, disappearing at times against both great and lesser talent in college, I have him as a high-value second-round guy. Borderline first, though. He looks excellent when he's going. So, yeah. A borderline A+ there for them. All in all, I like it. If it's a need. The Titans moved up. Yep, I've had them move up in drafts too before. I've thought about having like 3 trade-ups here, and I couldn't quite... I don't know. I might have in one of my last mocks. I don't know. Got close at least. And I did think like towards the end of this draft could be where we'd see more trading. So that means Buffalo moved back twice. Not a shock for them. So the Titans are on the clock. Seahawks up next. Titans move up. Denzel Boston would be my number 1 guess here. It's Keldrick. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Somebody want to come up for Denzel Boston? I almost didn't click him. I almost left him off my first round Gonna go in the first round, bet. All right, Denzel Boston. No, Jesus. Edge. There we go. Keldrick Falk going to Tennessee. Interesting, stylistically, to Tennessee. Wonder about the fit. But I'll trust him. Trust that they'll use him right. I am interested.
320,000 people here tonight. Congratulations, Pittsburgh. Awesome.
I just want to hear how they announce him. I assume it'll be Edge.
The Tennessee Titans select Keldrick Falk, defensive end, Auburn.
Yeah, defensive end. Okay.
You were on that, CD, thinking about pass rushers.
Which they...
Where I thought he belonged to. He's my 29th overall player.
Yeah, so Keldrick Falk, 23rd overall player for me here from Auburn. 6'6", 276 pounds. Great run defender via PFF. Physical player. Physicals. Extremely tall, extremely heavy, very girthy. Big boy. Provides inside-outside versatility. That's why I wanted to hear how they announced him. Scheme diverse as well. May even be required to move inside on first and second down. So I do assume it's solid, right? In Saleh's system, there will be some of that. I would assume. Very long arms and a large wingspan. Shows some decent speed in pursuit. Hip flexion looks good. Weaknesses: poor pass rusher via PFF, 11.6% pass rush win rate. Bad burst profile, especially for his size. Lacks initial burst when working off the edge, but like him more. Working a little bit more on the inside there. High pad level, lacks violent hands, lacks ideal speed. 3-year contributor at Auburn, took a leap forward from 2023 to 2024, and then he took a step back in 2025. Praised for his leadership and high character, seems to understand his strengths and his weakness as well. He had to ask multiple reporters to repeat their questions, but he was trying to properly answer the questions. I just wonder if he was a little bit dense, was my concern there. Looks like he's lost more weight. I wonder if they'll want him to put weight on. He looks like an edge rusher right now. If you're a pass rusher and you can only do one thing, and that's to stop the run, I'm going to lean into the second round instead of the first round. What Falk has working in his favor is a prototypical NFL build, and he's 21 years old. He'll be 22 in September. Is he the... He might... Is he the guy... He might be a year older than that. He might be, but I think I corrected it. Yeah, because we thought he was 20. He's 21. The developmental upside is legit, and for that reason, I think he's a late first to early second round prospect, so he goes right where I thought he should. If we look at last year's draft, I would put him somewhere on a line between Michael Williams and Shamar Stewart, which I know you might not love those names, but like that's the type of player you're getting. You might get more than those guys. Those guys have only been in the league 1 year, so their story's not written yet either. I mean, it's an A. This is kind of where I thought he should go. It's a fine pick. Now, is Seattle able to find a trade partner? Because I don't think Seattle's going to take Denzel Boston. I need him to go. And then I have a chance at getting my prediction right about all the players, which players will go in the first round without missing on any of them. I want to get it right. Who's looking to maybe trade up for a wide receiver, though? We already got the Jets came up, the Tennessee Titans came up. Vegas? But now you feel pretty comfortable if you're Vegas. You don't need to move up if you want a wide receiver. And I don't even know if Denzel Boston was the one that you wanted. Depends what you think of Jack Besh, really.
You said in kindergarten that you wanted to play in the NFL.
This is Keldrick Falk.
That dream becomes a reality. How would you describe it?
I don't even know how to feel right now. I'm like...
Oh, Casey Concepcion did go.
I'm happy.
You should be happy, and your versatility is a defining feature of your game, your ability to line up inside and outside along the D line. How do you think Robert Saleh can get the best out of you?
just about putting what we need to win. And then
Bless
using
you.
all across the D-line. This is what I do and this is how I play.
Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So, the Seattle Seahawks final pick of night one is in. The pictures we've seen tonight of this beautiful
Seattle
Steel
picked.
City in
Couldn't
western
find a trade partner.
Pennsylvania. There's just been
Yeah,
nothing short of
that's exactly what's happened to me a couple times where I had like 2 teams trade up, and then nobody wanted to move into the spot.
defending Super Bowl champs stuck and picked, and we will find out who they have.
So, Emmanuel Pregnon,
You can already
Chase
see
Basantis,
5 minutes
a guard,
for the 49ers. Starting
edge rusher, Cassius Howell, Zion Young,
making his way. Beautiful first night. Nice weather night.
Armason Thomas, Derek Moore,
Night in Pittsburgh.
cornerback. I think cornerback would make the most sense here, right? Jamad? I think you can get pretty excited if you get Jamad McCoy here. Obviously, the medicals are a concern, though, so depends. If they pick him, then you feel good about it, because then I guess they feel good enough about the medicals. I don't know that they will. This is good timing, because I'm thirsty, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'm hungry.
As we conclude round one of the 2026 NFL Draft, we're proud to continue recognizing our long-standing partnership with
I'm thinking
Make-A-Wish
cornerback.
this World Wish Month. I'm thrilled to be joined by Dylan, a huge fan of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
Who do you want, Robbie?
Bravely battled
You might know already. I'm behind.
and is now a two-time
It is Jadarian Price. I never did it. I didn't think they'd do it. Is that your wow? Oh, I don't have a high grade on him.
and a chance to take part in one of the
This would be one of my lower graded.
Dylan, when you're ready,
Um,
stage is yours.
I'm not gonna give it a minus though. You did. Not. Yeah, I didn't think they would. I just didn't think Price was worth it. All right. I'm gonna break that mic. I'll let him do his thing, and then I'll get to my take on Price.
With the 32nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Jadarian Price.
I actually have family friends who are friends with Schneider. I want to hit him up for a job. Yeah, I mean, same in Schneider, have faith. Definitely needed a running back, right? Well, I wouldn't say definitely, but there was a good chance that they felt like they needed a running back. So it's not a complete surprise, but I am surprised. So Jadarian Price, 5'11", 203 pounds, above average in elusiveness, above average yards after contact per attempt, above average yards per run. Though very limited as a receiver. Like that's not a part. He didn't really do that. Physical, large hands, very long arms, pluses there. Special teams value as a kick returner, so nice little bonus there. Potentially the best in all of college football. Like that. Smooth hip, natural runner, works well in tight spaces. What I will say too about his kick returner, with the rules, the kick return in the NFL, like stylistically, I feel like that fits the running back type of running too. So definitely gonna be a huge plus there. Smooth tip, natural runner, works well in tight spaces. Good explosive profile as well for him. Gets up to speed pretty quickly. Weaknesses, quite slender. Very bad acceleration. 1.61 yard, 10 yard split. But he still does get up to speed quickly, so it's kind of like that. That initial speed's, the burst is good. The acceleration isn't so great, I guess would be the best way to put it. Lacks a final gear for home run hitting, despite good speed, I thought at least. Lacks some power, third down, and downfield finishing runs. Not the best there, I didn't think. Had a few impact fumbles, like just fumbled in the wrong times. Previous ruptured Achilles. This was kind of part of the reason where I have the lower grade on him, was in part because of health concerns. But that was back in 2022. Unfortunately, ruptured Achilles is an injury that has a fairly high re-injury rate. Now, I assume the longer you get away from it, the less the re-injury rate is there, but it's still going to be higher for you. And it's an injury that often leads to shorter long-term careers. Now, it's already a running back. You're going to get the first what you need out of him, I assume. So, not the biggest concern, but from a first rounder, personally, building a team, I'd rather get more than one contract. And then the re-injury rate. Pass blocking's not great from him. 3-year player at Notre Dame. 2 years is a big part of the rotation, of course. He's playing with Jeremiah Love. Price is a better zone scheme prospect than gap scheme, so the fit is there for the scheme. He's a solid, if limited, running back prospect. He looks good, but he's not proven himself as an every down back with his lack of usage as a receiver and poor pass blocking, despite being willing as a pass blocker, which is, especially coming out of college, there's very few running backs that are good pass blockers, immediately especially. I think calling him a lesser version of Travion Henderson can make sense in many ways, so that's part of why I didn't think he should go here. I think he's a lesser version of Travion Henderson. I have a middling day 2 grade on him. Supply and demand may help push him up board. I think that's a part of it, because there's a drop-off. I mean, for a lot of people, there's a drop-off. Now, I had Jaden Price close enough to Emmett Johnson, my next guy, and Mike Washington, but I still do have a drop-off. So, where are you? He is my overall 73rd ranked prospect. I would have much rather him at the end of the second round. But, there was still a drop-off before the next group of running backs, even for me, who's low on him. So, trust the evaluator, John Schneider. I had him low. I was low on him. And he was so who do I have in front of him? Could have easily put him ahead of Halton, Denied Dennis Sutton, Gabe Akis. Very much in a similar vibe for an AJ Halsey, who I have right behind Garrett Nussmeier. So, that's my cutoff. So, I easily could have had him 6 spots higher. Even Keith Abney's, close. I get it ahead of these wide receivers. I get it ahead of a Max Clare, a Chase Basantes, a Skylar Bell. I get it ahead of these guys, actually. I get it ahead of the linebackers. So I'm just going as, in a different universe, how high could I have had him? We're probably right there, around 55-ish, So, the gap between... If it wasn't for the medical stuff, I think I docked him for the medicals, and I didn't really dock many people for the medicals because I think I did that. I try not to. I feel like I did with him, so that might have been a part of it too. I might not have come back and said, "Oh wait, I don't want to do that." So yeah, Robbie, I don't love it. Do I think you still got a good running back though? Yeah. I think he's good. I don't think he's a first rounder, but I think he got a good running back, and I think ultimately it's just because they didn't want to be getting any of these other running backs, and they liked him, obviously. I think they would have liked him after trading back from pick 32. And honestly, is 32 a first round pick? I mean, I haven't had a first round grade on any guys for the last 10 picks, so kind of not. There's night 1. I'll be back here tomorrow for rounds 2 and 3. I will be here all day Saturday for 8 hours or whatever that is going to be. So, good night, Robbie. I hope to see you near the end tomorrow. Maybe will I get a better grade out there? Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. And they just got screwed by a few teams in front of them being willing to trade down. And like I said, I've had that scenario happen to Seattle in a couple of mocks that I did where I had 1 or 2, and thinking of 3, I'm sure, teams trying to trade up here towards the end of the first round. And then it's just like, well, the guys that these teams were trying to trade up for got taken. Dang it. I knew I should have left Denzel Boston. He was the one guy who I was like, I think KC goes in the first round for sure. Even though I don't know that he's a for sure first rounder. That was my cliff. I put Boston in there. You're very welcome, Robbie. Thank you for hanging out. I hope to see you tomorrow. I hope to see you anytime Saturday. And have a good night. I got to find where I can end my stream now. There we go. I found it. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Ending it.